Test. You guys should be able to hear me. Right, so again, sorry, we're just waiting on a couple of people. I think Zach's just messaged us saying that it's just taking a little while for him to uh, basically get into Discord. So just bear with us a moment. Sorry, we're just waiting on a couple of people. I think Zach's just messaged us saying. Will you guys hear that in stereo? I can see Zach's online, so hopefully we're getting there. I'll jump over to the actual scene now.
Hello.
Hello, you're live, sir.
I am very late. I do apologise. Discord decided to take forever to boot up. I tried messaging through Roll20. I don't know if you saw it.
I did, I saw it. I just let everyone know.
Apologies for the delay then. Yeah, good, mate. How about you?
Living the dream, always.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. So we're all living the dream then.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the plan anyway.
I could.
Okay, so you guys have arrived down in Daggerford. That's one. It's... There we go. Down in Daggerford. And does somebody just want to give us a recap?
So it's probably
Johnny. Sorry, 1 second. Johnny, you're open micing, mate.
Oh, sorry, dude. 2 secs.
So it's probably not the most detailed thing, but as usual, we stopped on the road and decided to square up to the cultists guarding the wagons that we've been sort of with the whole time, and we haven't been able to look in. That went okay. We completely destroyed them, but then the wagons actually escaped. We tried to chase them. That didn't really work down. So we ended up rejoining as a group and then continuing up to Daggerford. It's possible those carts are in Daggerford, but it's also possible they're somewhere entirely else, and we have absolutely no idea. Our employer is staying at the Chateau Elite, and I believe we've decided to stay at whatever the other inn was called next to the... Sorry, say again?
The Daggerford Inn.
The Daggerford Inn, next to the main gate, and we're going to stay here for a couple of days. I think that's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys have rested, as you said. I think you guys had just effectively arrived at the Daggerford Inn, and that was where we left it. You guys, I don't believe, had sorted out rooms or anything like that yet. You were also thinking about where you could put your horses, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to carry on from there then?
Alright, so how many of us are going to stay in the inn then? Because I said I'm quite happy to sleep out with the wagons with combat unit, just to keep guard.
Sorry, I'm right in saying that our employer has... They're being guarded at the Chateau Elite. We don't have to worry about those carts for now.
Yeah, those carts were sort of taken up, well, valeted away. So yeah, it's just our stuff we need to watch.
Okay, I mean, I'm happy to just leave them in the care of the inn. We haven't really got anything valuable. 77 does not like paying for rooms though, because it's a bit pointless when you don't sleep. So he'd just like to perch himself in the, I assume there's a common room in this inn. And if I could think Lord of the Rings, when they first meet Aragorn, just sit in the corner and just chill out. Not eating, not doing anything, just sort of staring into the distance. That's what he plans to do all night.
Okay, fair enough. So when he is Strider, as we were talking about, like when he's still
Yes,
that old.
yeah, right at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So have we seen like this inn take anyone's wagons anywhere? Like, or does it just seem people find their own space with the wagons out the front?
I mean, make me a... No, you'd be able to see. Like, I mean, people are dealing with it. This, that other place, you are paying for that service.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally the average inn. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we should find a place to ditch our horses and that then. Does there seem to be sort of a general place people are taking them to, or are they all spreading out? Or
They're just going wherever they can. You guys were also looking to look after your horses because you had kind of ridden them a bit hard.
yeah.
Well, when we speak to the innkeeper and get rooms, I imagine that an inn in a busy commercial town like this would have an ability for stabling horses.
Or at least know of a place we could.
Yeah. So we can probably just talk to the innkeeper about that and see if he can square it away.
Sure, let's go get some rooms then. But before we go in and do this on the fly, because it always gets awkward, how many rooms for who?
I mean,
So-
I don't mind sharing.
If combat unit's fine to watch our wagons, since the main employers' ones are with the Chateau Elite, I'll share with you, sure.
Yeah.
And
then the two ladies, one of which is currently on autopilot, but
Yeah, unfortunately, Ara is disposed with other work at the moment, so I will have... does one of you want to run Ara tonight? That'll jump at once.
I don't mind running it.
I
Like,
don't even know what I'm doing.
combat-wise.
Okay, cool. Yep. Okay, cool. You have access to a sheet and everything, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll go through the campaign.
Perfect.
Johnny, if you want to lead the purchasing of rooms whilst I do this.
I can absolutely do that. So are we at the Dragon back in, are we?
No, the Daggerford by the main gate.
Daggerford Inn. Sorry, yes. Of course. Okay, so we need 2 rooms, effectively 2 twins, preferably. So cool. I guess Johnny will wander in to the Daggerford Inn then, if that's where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does it look like when I first walk in?
It's a relatively busy inn. There's quite a few people going around. You see the barman's quite busy, and there's a couple of like people waiting tables and things. There's a constant murmur and noise. I really wish I could get Sirenscape to work because this would be awesome for this. Anyway, and basically you can see that this is a place that does a lot of business.
I see. Okay, cool. Well, I am going to try and wander up to any available sort of bartender / receptionist that I can.
Yep, sure. I mean, the bartender seems to be the most receptionisty person.
Cool. Well, that's the person then. That's who I want to go to. So I'm going to saunter up to him and say, "Hello. How's it going? How goes the day?"
Busy, my friend. What can I do you for?
Yes, I was hoping to see whether you had any rooms available tonight.
I'm sure we do. How many for how long?
We could do with a couple of rooms, 2 twins if possible, and just for the one night, I think, as it stands.
Two twins for the one night.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, and you just see him kind of like one moment he just finishes pouring a gentleman's drink, hands it back, runs over, and the guy's kind of a bit scruffy. He's got like a very worn waistcoat, what you assumed was once a fine shirt, and then just general like kind of hide trousers that been leathery trousers that don't quite look like leather. You're not quite sure what they're made of. He starts flicking through a book, big book, like this thing's got hundreds of pages and it's big, A4 sheets each side. Flicking through, he just goes, yeah, I could do that for two rooms, one night. Okay, all right, yeah, call it a gold for both rooms, yeah.
Sounds good. With him saying that, Johnny pulls out a gold piece and pops it onto the table in front of him.
Perfect. What name's it under, sir?
Mr. Azure.
Mr. Azure. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, cool. And he just kind of like writes something. You can see he kind of takes 2 or 3 attempts at it and then just scribbles something else. And he's like, there you go. And he reaches under the table, gives you 2 tags, and it just says, 023 and 024. And he's like, there are your rooms. Upstairs. And, well, there's only 6 rooms. I'm sure you can work out which one's yours. So, enjoy.
Cool. While you're here, can I query you for a beverage?
Yeah. Bear with me one moment because you're not quite the next in line. So I'll just be back with you. He goes, yeah, no, I'm coming, and he just kind of like walks further down the bar. As you can see, some like quite angered, like sort of half orc, thinking that he'd been snubbed in the queue.
Fair enough. Cool. I'm going to just nip outside then to let them know that we've got rooms.
Cool.
What about the horses?
Of course. I knew there was something else that I forgot. Johnny saunters back. Johnny, as soon as he says that, just turns sort of like head down a little bit, and I can't believe I just forgot that, and walks back in. And is going to wait at the same spot, waiting for the barkeeper to return with the drinks, with ready to take his drinks order.
Yep. So just after a moment or two, you see him go, sorry about that, buddy. Right. What can I get you then?
Actually, before we order drinks, do you have any facility to stable some horses for us?
No, not really, buddy. Kind of an inn, not a all-in-one tavern. I mean, what are you after, really?
Just a place to have the horses sort of stowed for the night, maybe fed would be preferable. Is there anywhere close by that maybe does that?
I mean, there's the stables that you can put horses in, kind of its thing. But if you need something a bit I don't know, like if they need help or something, there's the Animals Handlers Affiliation, pompous pricks, but they love their horses. So, whichever one you need. And he's like, yeah. Look, this guy's then you, all right? Calm down. So, like, stables, can't miss it. Just basically go to, and he kind of turns around, and you can see him like gesturing with his arm. He's just like to sort of like 2 o'clock of the city. If you're coming through the main gate, coming that way, just head that way. That sort of direction, sort of northeasterly. Sorry, no. Southeasterly, I guess, yeah, southeasterly, of here, but north of the gate. And he kind of basically goes, just gestures, turns around and just gestures that way, basically, and he kind of gestures basically up to this dirty great building here.
Cool, sounds good. Okay, hold off on that drinks order for now, but I'll be back.
He's like, okay, great, and then he's like, Casimir, sorry, yep. Right, we're going to get you as you like walk on.
Yeah, Johnny walks back outside, normal confidence levels, and says, "Yeah, so the inn doesn't they don't do any horse sort of stowing, but they would advise the stables or the Animal Handlers Association apparently also like to look after horses, and that is, and I relay where it is.
Yeah,
all right.
Because stables is more our speed.
I think it probably is.
Yeah, the horses aren't like injured, are they? They're just a bit shattered.
They are a bit tired, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you find out where the stables were?
I believe I did.
you
yeah,
did. That's what he
stables at the
directed
beginning.
you to.
Yeah, and I relay all of that to you.
Okay, cool. All right, let's head over there then. And we will begin going southeasterly to look for the stables.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not difficult for you guys to find. It's a dirty great stable. So I'd say it takes you maybe... No, it's the one north of that. I'll ping it on the map again. It is this one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd take it takes you about 10-15 minutes just to navigate the sort of like the town and get round a few buildings and travelling up through Horseway, hence its name. It's quite busy, so you just kind of find it a little bit tricky, but you eventually manage to get there 20 minutes later.
Shall I go book in the horses?
If you're up to it.
How many have we got?
Well, we've got combat units got 2, and then me and Ara had 2. You've got 1, and I presume Kane has 1.
I don't think I do.
She doesn't.
Actually, no.
All right,
horses
then.
for me.
So just the 5.
Just the 5 horses. Do we need extra space for the carriage for combat units?
I presume that'll be up the stable.
I will
We could
ask.
always just.
Come on, where did you gain your extra horse from?
I thought you had 2
I
horses.
have whatever comes with the horse, with the cart.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
think-
2, but if it's only 1, it's only 1.
He had a horse with a chariot, if I remember
Oh,
rightly.
okay.
You guys,
Okay.
you and Ara had a
Alright.
horse each, as did Johnny. And
I think it's
then-
because he had a little like, not token, but like background on the mini map that had 2 horses, which I was getting confused.
I will check that.
Cool.
Anyway,
All right, then 4 horses then.
4 horses. Sounds good.
definitely just the one. Good.
Okay.
Cool.
And then realistically, we don't really need them to hold our wagons and stuff. Like Dominic said, we've got nothing in them. We can just keep them somewhere. But
I mean, for a low cost, it would be better if they were safe.
yeah, but don't go spending all your money for it.
Sure, no doubt. Cool. I'm gonna saunter right in. Just see. Is there anyone in charge of these stables? Is there like a receptionist's area? Is there someone just like wandering around that looks authoritative?
I mean, there's a couple of people. You notice one gentleman who's kind of stood by the bar, a bit of an elderly guy, very much workers' clothes, but they seem to be a bit more refined. Like he's probably somebody who's been doing the life enough that he's got some money behind him. And actually, as you start to walk up, he just goes, "Good evening there, fella. How can I help you?"
Good evening. What a good evening it is. Do you have any spare spaces to home some horses for the evening and for the night?
Well, it depends how many horses you want to put in. Do you want to put in just the 1 or 2? Do you want to do for like how many horses you got?
There would be 4 in total.
4 horses. Well, 4 horses. We can. Oh, you got. And he just looks over to combat unit, and he's like, "He's a big motherfucker, isn't he?" Like, I bet he takes a horse and a half. 4 horses? Yeah, no worries. We can sort 4 horses. How long for?
Just the one night. Just the one night.
1 night? Yeah, it's no worries. I mean, it's 2 silver a horse per night, so I guess 8 silver.
8 silver. And how much extra is there the service to feed them here as well? Make sure that they're nicely well rested. As you can see, and looking at 3 of the 4 horses, they're just exhausted. Combat units must just be knackered at this point.
I mean, it's not really our kind of thing. We just can't check them in the pressure, give us some hay. But I know the AHA. I can get them to have a look, but they're pricey. I mean, not cheap people.
How much are they?
Well, I mean, you know, how long is a piece of string, mate? I mean, it all depends on what yours needs and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, just some good rest to be safe and a little bit of food.
Well, I'll tell you what, where are you staying?
We're staying at the Daggerford Inn.
Right. Alright. What's your name?
Reluctant to say Mr. Azure after the last catastrophe. Johnny. Johnny's the name.
Johnny. Johnny. Tell you what, either, and you look behind, and there's this like half-elf girl that's kind of like mucking out one of the stables, and as she hears this, you see that freeze of like, oh, like, just I know this is gonna be a shit show. Over, pull down. She finds you. I'm an AJ, come over. Have a come down. All right, I can sort it all out with them.
Just Johnny's gonna just query what he just said.
I said, I'll have her come down and find you, don't have it in, and then AJ, when you come down, you can sort it all out.
I think I got it that time.
Are you right next to me?
I presume we would all walk in.
Excellent. Johnny is going to just very, very subtly and quietly look away and whisper into his hand a message to Shal saying, "Did you pick up any of that?"
I think, so I'll just speak back. I think what he's saying is that he'll get the girl to come and find us when we need to. The Daggerford Inn.
Excellent, of course. Let's do that. Do you need the money up front?
Yeah. Like that sort of confused look of yes. Like, of course, yes.
Yeah, okay, that seems fair. Johnny hands over 8 silver?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, hands that over. All good.
Good. What are the names? Looking a bit disappointed, he goes, alright, and just takes them.
Johnny is still erring to himself, completely baffled. There's no names for these horses.
Okay, so you've dropped off your horses, and you assumed that some half-elven girl will be approaching at some point to, let you know when the AHA are there, and you can arrange what needs to be done with them.
Wonderful. So, now that we've successfully secured rooms and horse rooms, to the inn.
To the inn. Also, I'm sort of certain that Ara named her horse. Can't for the life of me remember what it was.
If only she kept it up in her notes, you'd be able to find out, but...
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Maybe it's there. I can't look at her notes.
I'll have a look in a moment. Okay, so...
I mean, there's no point looking.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
True.
So, okay, so what are you guys doing now? You're making your way back to the inn?
So we had this run-in with the cultists. I think our end goal is to follow these contests anyway.
Mhm.
Maybe we should ask around, have a look.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to.
Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say I'd just like to look around for the wagons that got away from us.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
maybe we split our resources. 77's happy to patrol around. Someone who's good at talking might want to go and talk to all the bartenders or all the innkeepers. They're normally the people. Because there's only 3 inns in this place.
Johnny, do you want to do that?
I was going to say, does Johnny get the sense that everyone's looking at Johnny?
You
Yeah,
are the mouthpiece of.
I am.
There's never too much for the 4 of us,
Oh,
and now which there are 5.
Of course.
That's the extension to the name.
We need to work on that.
No, that's just the name now. So
Yeah, that's the full name,
of which now there are 5.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay, I will go talk to the bartenders. So we know the one at the the Chateau Elite, the Dragonback, and the Daggerford Inn. So we'll figure that out. Yeah, I'll head there then.
I'll have a look around, just around places where people seem to be stowing their wagons and stuff, and just see if I can spot out any familiar ones from the ones that we chased off.
77 will do the same. It's probably worth us splitting up though.
Okay, so you guys are like what? Gonna walk the entire town / city?
So I'll go the Drillfield way and that sort of side of town. Look around, sort of by the Chateau Elite. Yeah. So basically the eastern side of town. And do you want to take the western side of town?
Sounds good. Before I go off, though, I'd like to just pop back into the Daggerford Inn and just inform the innkeeper there that if the elven woman that we saw that was pointed to comes in looking, just to advise her that we'd be back later tonight, just in case we miss her whilst we're looking.
Unless, of course, we sent Ara there to greet her when she got there, so that someone was there.
So you want to leave Ara alone in the roughest inn in the city and think she won't murder at least 3 people by the time we get back?
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe just what you said then.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. That was me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just... What time of day is it?
It is afternoon / evening. I'd say sort of like 3-4 p.m. From what I can recall, because you.
Yeah.
Because you guys were riding for 2 to 4 hours. No, you guys were riding for like nearly 4 hours the previous night when you were chasing them, and then when you arrived here, you had to go even slower because you'd knackered your horses. So yeah, I'd say with all that's gone on, you're definitely looking at like mid-afternoon to evening.
Could Kane please go to the marketplace and ask around there?
She certainly can.
Cool, that's what she's going to do then.
Combat unit, I presume you'll take Ara?
Yeah, I'll look after the little one.
Sounds good.
Following along after me obediently, I hope.
Potentially.
But
I was going to say, like every now and again as they're walking, she'll attempt to slink off and look on her own.
No.
It's the beauty of having dice rolls that you guys can't see. So, as you guys are like walking about and having a little bit of a look, so combat unit and Ara, you guys have gone off to the drill field over here and that general direction. Kane is wandering the marketplace, and sorry, where are you going, Johnny and Shao?
Johnny's going to go start off probably at the Chateau Elite. Actually, wait, no, where are we now? The stables, which are here? Yeah.
So you guys have reformed back at the Daggerford Inn, because that was the first thing you guys said, is we're going back to the Daggerford Inn. You went there, and then
I meant I would be splitting off on my search to go there, sorry.
Okay, fine. So Shao, you've gone there on your Todd then. Alright, so everyone else is around there, yeah?
I would have gone with, because my first objective is to talk to Mr. Busy.
Okay, cool. So you and Shao are down by the Daggerford Inn. Kane, you are basically you've gone with them, but then slinked off to go to the market. And Combat Unit and Ara, you are somewhere around the drill field, and you're about to kind of choose which way you want to go. So, Let's kick it off with Kane. So you've kind of seen them depart and go into the Daggerford Inn. You're approaching the market. What would you like to do?
How many stalls are there, and what kind of stuff are they selling? What can she see?
There is a complete and total like hodgepodge of different things. There are some people that are like blacksmiths trying to sell some of their more finer wares. There's some pottery. There's some like just generally like food and herbs and the latest fresh fish that's been caught. There's a couple of other like more trinkety type things. Few like sort of peculiaries, if that makes sense. Places that just seem to have, a talisman to a potentially long forgotten god, as well as a fish sewn to a rat body. Like, it's just weird shops.
Who's got the fish sewn to a rat body?
It's this very definitely cat lady looking woman.
Right, she's going straight there.
Okay, cool.
There's no question about it.
All right.
And can she ask whoever is behind the counter if she's seen any strange goings on?
Just be, hello, dear.
Hello. What have you got here then?
Oh, I've got a mixture of things. I mean, what are you after? Do you want things that are like spicy and dangerous, or do you want things that are quaint and difficult? I mean, it really depends what you're after.
Spicy and dangerous.
Oh, spicy and dangerous, my favourite. What type of spice? Do you want food spice or like, and she kind of winks at you, spice.
Okay, she's going to lean in and just wink back and just whisper, have you got any catnip?
and she kind of just smirks and goes, oh, I have just the thing, dear. Once again. And you just kind of see her like, kind of goes from, you've basically come to the one that's about here. And she kind of goes behind her like little stall, and you hear her kind of like unfurling some stuff, and she comes out with a small pouch, and she just kind of just goes, how much would you like? Because I've got a lot. I can give you some more if you want, but this is all I've got at the moment. What would you like?
I'll take the lot. Wait, how much is it?
She's like, I don't really want to sell it all, but I mean, especially as you're a tabaxi. Love it, by the way. I'll do you a discount. So, how about for this? We'll call it 100 gold.
Get lost. No. Have you not got anything a bit cheaper?
She kind of like just puts it down on the table and goes, not really, no, to be honest with you.
All right. Okay. Have you seen anything a little bit out of the ordinary going on around these parts recently?
I mean, with the sort of people that we get around here, it gets a bit dicey. I mean, there's some people who came in like middle of the night. Strange folks.
Can you expand on that?
And she kind of just has her hand like outward.
Alright, how much?
How much do you want to know?
What did they look like and what were they doing?
Alright. And she kind of just looks you up and down. Call it a gold.
Alright then.
Right.
Okay, she'll give you a gold.
Okay, mark that off. And she just very quickly pockets that, and then just kind of leans back and goes, so, oh, 1 second. Yes, dear. Oh, great. Yes, no, thank you. Yes, does. As you see somebody just drop something off her. Goes, oh, thank you. Yes. Right, so, basically, these fellas came storming in the night. 2 wagons. Went straight up down Fields Lane, down Wall Street, and just hitched up round by a dragon back. They went straight in, came to morning, carts were gone, but they were definitely still about, because, like, me and the mister, it's one of our favourite drinking houses, and they'd taken our favourite spots, and we knew they were definitely about, but, Yeah, they're all cloaked up and stuff, but they seem to have money.
So what are you saying? They headed off towards Fields Lane?
Yeah, I mean, they basically just made a beeline. Nearly took out the fucking marketplace coming through.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much. She'll just kind of leave you alone now.
Suit yourself, and just like puts the bag like back and under the the tarpaulin or cover that not tarpaulin cover that she had dealt with it before.
Okay.
Alright, so as you've finished with that one, we'll cut back to Charles and Johnny. So you guys have entered Daggerford Inn.
Cool. Approach the bartender.
You just he looks over and kind of in this sort of like just puts up one finger to be like, you know, one moment. Like finishes serving another drink, finishes serving another person, and then immediately goes, "Well, buddy, what can I do for this time? Please tell me it's a drink."
Yes, I actually would. I would have one of your finest Daggerford ales, but I would also pick your brains.
Ale first, and then he just like comes back. He goes, "What about you in the brown cloak?"
Nah, I'm alright. Thanks, not staying long.
Of course you are. And just like immediately goes over, fills it up, and he's like, 3 copper.
Yeah. I hand him 3 copper over, and then I have another 3 copper just sort of positioned on the table, and I say, so about picking your brain then.
He goes, "Look, mate, it's have to be more than that if you want me to stay here. Look, what do you want?
All right.
Just what do you want?"
I want to know if you've seen any unusual goings on in the last 24 hours in the city. Any strange folk barreling that you've maybe not seen before?
No, I can't say that I have really. I mean, we had some. I heard there was a bit of a disturbance in the marketplace last evening, but that's about it really.
A bit of a disturbance. What do you mean by that?
Can't really say much. I live up here, you know, literally in the evening. People came in talking about people racing through the marketplace. That's about it.
People racing through the marketplace. Okay, cool. Duly noted. And you don't have anything else? None of your patrons mention anything else? And I slide a silver piece on the table.
He'll take it and just kind of nod to you, and then he'll just puts it straight, puts the silver piece in his pocket, keeps the 3 copper, and he turns around and just says, "Feel free to ask them, but I don't pry. It's the reason I'm good at my job, and if they don't want to talk, you know." Anyway,
anyone in here the most loose-lipped?
kind of looks up and down the bar. Make a persuasion check.
Also,
I'm exhausted, so that's a disadvantage, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Curses. Oh.
Still
I completely
15.
forgot about this exhaustion.
Adult teachers.
consequences of our actions.
Damn it.
So he kind of looks over and just goes, "There's a few fellas at the back there, but," and he kind of like looks over at the big clock on the wall and just goes, "I'd give it a few hours though," and then just kind of like nods to you and goes, "Anyway, people to serve, come in," and just walks over and immediately starts serving out more beers.
Cool. I'm going to turn to Charlotte and say, I may as well hang around here then and wait for those guys to get maybe. I presume we're waiting a little bit to see as they get drunker, maybe they get a little bit easier to talk to. So I can stick around and talk to them a little bit when they're out.
Sounds good. Keep an eye out for the elf girl.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Go. And I will turn leave and start heading. I would presume what is northeast on the map. So.
Northeastern, just ping it.
Sure. draw a line. But yeah, just in this general direction, looking
Okay.
just looking down the roads as I go, looking for the wagons.
Okay, well, where are you going? Because there's
Sure,
obviously, as you can
that's
see,
all
there are
right. Yeah, I'll
roads.
draw it.
So it's what I mean is like you can come up this way, or so
Cool.
are you going up Duke's Way, Fields Lane, Farmers Road? They are named, so just
Yeah. No, I'll walk through the marketplace and then through Fields Lane and up past Wall Street, and
Okay.
then just loop around this way.
Okay, right. Well, we'll come back to that then because you'll cut across with where Kane is. So,
Mhm.
combat unit and Ara are in the drill field. What are you doing?
Well, so we're just wandering around looking for carts, or ideally the cultists, but I'll settle for their cart. So looking around the drill fields, do we see any carts that look familiar? Or actually, can we just assume that you'll tell me if and when we do?
Yeah, I mean, make a perception check, but there's, I'd say that there are no carts around the drill field. Yeah, you would notice them. That'd be a disadvantage, but yeah.
Well, Arrow would be assisting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Straight
So
roll.
balances out as straight. Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Well, in that case, what we'd like to do is follow River Road all the way around the edge. So we'll just, under beside the wall, all the way around to the stables. Can I just confirm that one I've just drawn an X on is the stables?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yeah. I meant to ping it, but I have the wrong tool selected. Yeah, go. So wander all the way around there, and when we get to the stables, I'd just like to pop in and speak to the proprietor.
Is it what, to the stables? You want to speak to the stables proprietor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good luck.
yeah, give me 2 or 3 perception checks. I'll make them straight rolls because I was assisting you. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad I went for the third.
So most of the time you're literally just trying to stop Ara from just running off, and there's just a lot of heal, child, heal, stay. Like, and with her cloak of elvenkind, it's not the easiest thing to keep track of her. So there's a lot of like, no, come back here. And she's like, but I'm bored. Like,
We've got an important job to do. We're trying to find the bad guys. If we find the bad guys, you might be able to kill them.
yeah, but can't I just shoot someone anyway?
No, there's too many people. We can't shoot them all. So we're going to shoot the very specific people we don't like. Okay?
Mm,
If you're really good, I'll let you shoot them when we meet them.
I want my arrow back.
Well, you shouldn't be so stupid then, should you?
And she kind of just looks down at the floor and just starts kicking it.
You should have made notes. That's what you should have done.
So, you manage to get to it, and as you get the natural 20, you're easily able to pick out the proprietor. You kind of notice a few other people. Nobody seems to be looking shady. You notice that the town watch here, though, is quite good. They are keeping a good sentry on the towers and the walls, as well as you see the occasional people patrolling the streets. There's only maybe like 10 or 15 in the streets because, their job's really to keep trouble out, not necessarily deal with it inside. But yeah, and as you approach up, you just hear and go, "Oh, you're back again, are you? Right, okay. What's up?"
Good evening. Hi, I just wondered if I could ask you some questions.
Yep, go ahead.
So last night, some friends of ours got in some trouble on the roads and from our caravan, and they had to charge off in this direction. I was just wondering if you had some people turn up in the early hours of the morning, maybe. We're just looking to reunite with our friends.
Well, I mean, what were the horses' names?
I don't know. I know our friends' names. Well, I know what our friends look like, but yeah, I don't know what their horses' names are. You've got my horse in though. My horse's name is Roach.
Roach, right?
Strong name.
Got quite a few of them over the last few years. It's just to be a popular name. Now, come to think of it, yeah, we had a couple of people. They like kind of come around in the evening. Bit situation, really. I mean,
Hooded types by any chance? Robes?
I mean, and he just kind of gestures to the general crowd. Like, there's quite a few people in like hoods or like capes and cowls and everything. He's like, tend to get a lot of road folk, so.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, did these men who came in happen to say where they were staying, or leave their names?
Not really. I mean, we had quite a few. We did have some people that came in with some caravans and things, not caravan, what are they called? The big fucking thing. Oi! Elsie! and you just see the half elven girl that you saw previously, just kind of that shudder again, and just, yes, Dresden, what can I help you with? He's like, I found them last night. What were they called? It's like, good afternoon, sir. I think I find that they were they didn't leave a name. They just paid and said that they would come back and collect the horses. You asked for Darius to stay so that he would collect them the following day, so that they knew each other. Oh, that's right. You're at the stable. So, basically, they came, and I made sure that one of the stable boys, Darius, that he stayed to look after their horses so that they could go pick them up wherever they wanted.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Do you mind? Is Darius out the back? Could I go have a chat?
I mean, yeah. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. While doing this, 77 will slip him a single gold.
Okay, so it's a straight roll.
Was-
He goes, oh, thank you very much. No, I'm afraid you can't see him.
I'll just say, so wait, can you sort of describe the layout? So when you say Darius would be out back, like how is the pathway out there backwards?
You wouldn't know.
No,
but to
playing as
combat
Ara.
unit, well, as Ara, basically you've got the main sort of entrance, which is big enough for a carriage or any form of relatively large, horse carriage. Can't think of the word. Cart and carriage. Basically they're to pass by each other, so it's quite a wide establishment. And then effectively what they tend to do is they put the carts out back if they're waterproof and in good condition, and then they basically have the horses in the individual stables. They'll try and keep horses together if they travel together, because it basically is more room for them, and also it means they can charge a bit less as well.
Okay.
So it's a shame I can't speak to Darius, because that might be a bit more lucrative for him as well.
There's a shame in it. Well, anything else?
No, thank you very much. You've been very helpful.
No, and he just immediately just starts talking to the next boy. He's like, "Good evening. How can I help you today?"
Could I possibly speak to the girl?
You can certainly try.
I'll approach as subtly as a 7.5 foot tall giant robot can to speak to the girl.
Good evening, sir. How can I help you?
Hi. So thanks for your help with your boss. Just Darius, do you know what's happened to him? I'm literally just trying to find our friends, and it sounds like he's looking after their horses.
Yes. Basically, Darius got paid, and so did Dresden. Quite a sum of money to effectively keep them on the low key. They're out back. Well, in one of the further back stables. I can't say more than that, I'm afraid. They have paid quite handsomely, those two at least, to keep it on the down low.
Okay, and while offering a single gold piece to her, do you know a time that they'll be back to collect these horses? I'm just very concerned about my friends.
Well, I would hope that they'd be back. I think they're coming back about mid-afternoon tomorrow is roughly when Darius has kind of been paid for, even though that money would keep him there for days or weeks, but still, that's what they paid for.
Thanks very much. You're a star. Have a good day.
Not a pleasure. And she just kind of goes back to then like shoveling shit into a
Did
wheelbarrow.
you just say not a pleasure? What a bitch!
She said not I thought she said not a problem, sir.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
You can make
Okay,
of it
cool.
what you will.
All right. Okay. Cool. I think that's a successful little fact-finding mission. So 77 will leave. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know whether you want to cut to someone else, but if not, 77's gonna head back to the Daggerford Inn via Horseway and then the high road, just keeping an eye on route.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Give me a couple of perception checks if you're still looking out for wagons.
Arrow assist.
I mean,
Yeah,
actually, you wouldn't be because you know that they're now back there. So, I mean, if you're
that's
looking
true.
out for
I
them,
mean, looking out for the cultists, then.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, always. Let's just assume everywhere we go, we're always looking for the cultists.
Okay, so even with our kind of like being a bit stealthy, you're kind of stuck between being absolutely shattered and having to deal with an 11-year-old elf child and trying to look for cultists. So unfortunately, you don't really spot them, but you're not sure if that's just you're so tired. Your energy systems are running a bit low, or if it's the fact that Ara is being incredibly a petulant child, with the whole just like kill them, we found them, and now they wouldn't let me shoot them, and you kind of like try to keep her voice low in amongst these people who are just walking back and forth who don't necessarily think that open murder is the best of things.
Amateurs.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll cut back to Kane, who you've spoken to one of the people in the market. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Should just. There you
Could I please go back to Daggerford Inn? That's where Shal and Johnny are in there, right?
Johnny is.
thought-
Shal is basically making his way to the dragon back. You would actually see him as he's going through. So if you wanted to catch him.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I'll catch him then.
Okay.
So I'm just going to run towards you and just sort of just whisper and be like, "Hey, I think I have a bit of an idea about where these cultists might have gone."
Oh yeah.
So I just spoke to a lady over there behind the stall, and she says that there were some people last night that broke straight through into the marketplace with their carriages, went straight through Fields Lane and round Dragonback. So they've got to still be around here.
Just around Dragonback.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds like our people. 2 carriages coming flying in. Do you think we should gather the others first? I presume they're not.
I would gather the others
out.
first.
Yeah, they're probably hiding out in their rooms or something.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, we'll head back to the Daggerford Inn. I'll just say to catch up. Yeah, Johnny's just waiting at the Daggerford Inn, and I don't know where the other 2 are, but I doubt they're far behind.
Okay. So as you as you basically sorry, 1 second. As you basically like all kind of eventually via mishmash kind of arrive, combat unit kind of like not 100% paying attention and just kind of still talking to Ari to this Kane, Johnny, and Shallow around a table, and you hear this into the door as combat unit is kind of half hunched over talking to Ara, didn't quite notice the door and just into it, and then you hear this as he then just dips back down further in.
I'm not even going to make a check. What?
Dude, you're on a 7 on your last perception check. You didn't see shit.
That's fair enough.
So yeah, and there's kind of like the bar kind of turns, then sees combat unit approach, and everyone just averts their gaze. No one wants to deal with that.
Alright. Well, welcome back.
So we found their carts.
Kane appears to have found them.
Excellent. Where are they? Cool. Should we just assume we've had this conversation?
Yeah, we'll fill each other in on
Yeah, fill each other in.
on everything. Alright, so
you go.
go ahead.
I was going to
Alright.
say the key points are they're at the Dragonback Inn, or we're assuming they're at the Dragonback Inn,
Mhm.
and their wagons are at the stables, and it
Mhm.
looks like they're going to leave early tomorrow afternoon. So
Yeah.
actually, we are exhausted. It doesn't look like they're going anywhere soon. Perhaps we should have a night's sleep.
Well, I was going to say, if we filtered through from the conversation, what you said was that they would be ready to go whenever. I presume tomorrow afternoon is the latest, but I'd be concerned to presume they're going to be punctual.
Okay. Well, in that case, because I assume, Dave, we're now early evening.
You're now sort of like well, when you guys split, it was 3-4 p.m. So I'd say you're probably like
Mhm.
5-6 by the time you guys are getting back after you've had your conversations, walked back down. So it's
Yeah.
about it's, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure their
Okay,
horses
so-
are as tired as ours.
Yeah, so we could have a nice little sleep,
Mhm.
wake up, and
Beeline it.
even for dawn, be at the stables or
Yeah,
outside the Dragonback Inn, whichever we decide is better.
yeah. I think we should take an early night, and then, well, it might be worth going over by the stables first if we're super early, and just finding out if they've been by, and if not, we can head down. Or do you think
Yeah.
we should just pick one and stick to it?
No, you're right. They have to go to the stables. They
Yeah,
don't, they're not
few routes
necessarily.
to
We
take.
don't know what time they'll leave the Dragonback, but they have to
Mhm.
go to the stables to pick up their carts. So we
That's
can
true.
just loiter there. It's
Okay.
also slightly further away from the guards by the look of it.
Mhm.
So as you guys are kind of like having this conversation, like I'm assuming hushed tones, not just
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. The one of the barmaids just comes over and is just like, sorry, gentlemen and ladies, if you're going to sit, you are going to need to order.
Sure.
Johnny's
Well,
going to hold up his half a beer that he's been absolutely like savouring for the last hour or two.
what's on the menu?
Well, we have a wide variety of foods. The general sort of like, as we're only a little bit out, just, we have a pretty similar sort of idea as Waterdeep. So, I mean, we can do you a full Britannic, which is like, it's got like meats and sort of like some local beans and a sauce and things like that.
Pause me there. One of them for everyone except me. I will pay for it. How much is that?
You heard the man.
I'd say that for each person, it's probably I'd say it's about silver a person.
Okay, cool. What's that? 5 silver.
5 silver.
Done. Thank you very much, bar wench.
She kind of like takes the money, smiles, and then just stops smiling. Just that, like that. He goes, and for drinks, sir.
Your finest ale for everyone.
Okay, everyone all right with that?
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Absolutely.
Okay, and she says, great, that'll be, and she adds it up, and then so she's, and you see her skip Ara. So does anyone correct her or?
I mean, I presume Arrow would speak
I
up.
think Arrow would definitely
Yeah.
correct.
So she just goes, okay, so that is 4, so 12, and Arrow just goes, excuse me, I am here. Hello. It's like, yes, dear, but you are also a child, so I'm just getting the drinks for the adults, and I can come to you in a moment.
I'll just quickly intervene and go, she's older than she look. Just grab one for her as well.
You see this kind of like really judging look from that. It's just like, okay, well then that will be 15 copper, please, or 1.1.5 silver if you have a half silver.
No. There you go. Have 2 silver.
She's like, okay, thank you. Takes it all, goes away, and a few minutes later, the drinks are brought over. She gives one to Ara, and everyone's kind of sorted. A few minutes after that, your food arrives.
Tuck in.
Yeah, smash that.
Cool. All right, so you guys are like tucking in. I'd say about 3/4 of the way through your meal, you just see you just kind of like see a bit of a commotion at the bar, and as you look over, you see the half-elven girl just turning over, being like, "I'm here looking for the..." And the bartender just gestures over. And he's like, "Thank you," and walks over and goes, "Dresden has said that the AHA have arrived, and if you would like to, you are can go see them."
Sorry, the what have arrived?
The
The
AHA.
animal specialty people.
Ah,
You know, yeah. When we went over to the horses, they spoke about getting them in to take a look at them, make sure they were up to
Oh yes.
up to snuff.
Okay.
in the interest of making sure the horses are okay, Johnny will wolf down his remaining beverage and put all the food in the closest sort of bag or robe he can.
I don't know if you want to do that with egg, beans, and sausage, mate. I'll be honest.
I mean, if it's egg beans,
I put them in the preserving bin.
oh yeah, no, straight to the robe. No, we'll just say Johnny wolfs them down, and he will go and just deal with the AHA.
Okay, cool. And she kind of just stands there a bit, quite patiently, just waiting. And then just goes, "Okay, cool." And she leads you off, and 10-15 minutes, there's not a lot of conversation. She's quite quiet.
Cool. I mean, I'm not going to converse with someone that's not trying to converse.
Fair enough. You guys then reach, and you see Dresden is like, "Oh, hello! Right, come on in. Right, just down here, come on." And as you kind of like walk down the stables, you see that these two people in very fine clothes, who've got a couple of different satchels next to them. So yeah, they just kind of look at you and are just like, "These poor horses."
Beautiful, aren't they? Have you seen mine gesturing to the big war horse? But I've named him Mage Stomper.
Oh, that's gonna go down well.
You just see this kind of like, so what would you like us to do?
What indeed? As you can see, in gesturing to the three of the more knackered horses, I would be like, is everything okay with the horses? As you can see, they're very tired. There was a big ride they had to make, and I want to make sure that they are recuperated in the finest manner. Is there anything you can do to help?
There's plenty we can do to help. It's how much you're willing to pay.
Well, I mean, maybe you can go into some detail on what service.
I mean, we can completely and totally help and fix your horse, but that is obviously incredibly expensive. Or we can try and, diminish the issues, but this is quite literally an exhausted horse. This could really just do with rest, but we do have things that we could, provide if needed.
Okay. What are the prices of some of the things you offer? I for the right price, I'm sure I could be quite agreeable to something.
Well, the main thing that we in this how soon do you need to travel?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, but that rather narrows your options. There's basically two. One, we can give it some special berries and hope that it kind of maybe doesn't take any more damage to its like joints and sinews and things. Other than that, then I'm afraid it is the healing horse potion. Those are the two different things.
And how much are the berries and how much are the healing horse potions?
But the berries are 2 gold per horse per night, and the potions are 40 gold per horse per night.
I see. And how many nights would a horse have to go on this berry diet for?
If you
I
wanted
do.
them to fully recover, you'd be looking at probably 10 or so nights.
And I presume they could be ridden, not rigorously, but still ridden throughout the day.
You would have to ride them at a reduced pace for sure. You have to understand, you literally rode these animals to the point where they are struggling to stand on their own feet. So, you can't really be surprised when you fuck with the horses that they're not exactly in pristine condition to be ridden again. You can see there's that little bit of like temper flaring in her as you're like, yeah.
Yeah. But then Johnny does realise that the Animal Handlers Association quite expensive. And for someone that cares about horses' well-being so much, they are very expensive with what they offer. Perhaps if I were to buy, and just looking at the horses, I presume only 3 of them probably could do with this horse potion of healing. How much if I were to buy 3 of them from you as in bulk?
And she just looks at you and just goes, well, 120 gold.
I see. So there'd be no room at all for discount for the poor horses. I mean, they were I can assure you they were ridden tirelessly, but it was for the best of causes.
It always
And
is.
Indeed, we've learnt our lessons.
I'm glad to hear it. Look, I'm sorry, but my time is short. There are other paying customers who we do attend to throughout the days and everything. Would you like us to look after these horses or not?
And if I were to buy one of your horse healing potions, it would work immediately, or certainly ready for the following morning.
It takes about 4 hours to fully rejuvenate the horse, and another further 4 hours for sort of like wound closures and things like that. But it can be ridden as normal within 10 hours.
Johnny's just going to quickly look at his whole Mage Stomper. Does Mage Stomper look like he needs one of these potions? Is he got injuries to him?
Give me an animal handling check. Disadvantage.
Of course. Oh,
Oh,
damn it.
you're not entirely sure, but the horse does look hurt.
Okay. I will take. I'll take 3 of the horse healing potions and and one of the berries, please. For just for the one night.
Perfect. You just like berries for a horse? Which horse would you like the berries for? We do it by weight, you see, so we need to make sure we give the right amount.
I will point to Ara's horse, who is probably in decent enough condition, but deserves something, with the other 3 horses getting something else.
Okay. Yep. So she goes, oh, okay, yes, not a problem. And you see her pull out like these 3 sort of purpley silver. The liquid inside it almost seems to glitter, and then at times it's like almost a pink shade. And then she brings out this weird bag of berries that are green and yellow and orange. And you seem to very carefully counting it out, and they seem to have some sort of book where it's like a mass, and they know the hands of the horse and works out. It goes, okay, so for all of that, so we'll call it 142 gold. Sorry, 122 gold.
I believe that seems a bit more correct. Yes, of course. I will hand over very reluctantly 122 gold, but not too reluctantly that they think I'm a terrible horse owner.
Perfect. Okay. And as you hand over that, they immediately just set to work. You see that they immediately start caring for the horse, grooming it, kind of talking to it a bit. And yeah, they immediately just put the berries straight in the feed bag for Ara's horse, so that's just dealt with, and they start caring with the other 3.
I presume I can leave you guys to it. This being your job and all.
So I guess we'll look after the horses. Don't you worry about that.
Excellent. Well, I shall leave you to it. We'll be at the Daggerford Inn should you need anything.
You just see Dresden just go, "Hey, don't worry, mate. We'll send it out if you need to get it in, alright?" Yeah.
Do I understand the language that Dresden is speaking in?
It's just a really thick accent. That's all.
I don't speak like abyssal. Okay, I'm just gonna tip my head and smile, and then turn around like just baffled and walk back to the inn.
Okay. So as you're walking past, you just see Elsie kind of just looking a bit expectantly.
I'll absolutely tip Elsie a gold.
Oh, she immediately just goes, "Oh, thank you," and gives you a slight peck on the cheek, but then immediately goes back to work.
We overtip so hard.
We do.
Right. So you make your way back to the Dagford Inn.
I do. Yeah. That's what I do. I'm probably nibbling on the remaining bit of food I've got within my robe.
Fair enough. Okay. So whilst that's all going on, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Assume just continuing with some casual conversation before going to bed. We're all absolutely shattered. Even 77 is shattered, and he literally doesn't have like muscles.
Okay, I will say that all of you are able to kind of come back to Daggerford. You're given your rooms. So who's not taking a room?
77. He's gonna secrete himself in the quietest corner of the common room he can find, and just power himself down effectively. But he can obviously still see.
Okay, so I'm guessing Ara and Kane are sharing, and then Shal and Johnny are sharing.
That was the initial plan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what we'll do there is we're going to take like a 10-15 minute break and come back at past.
Wicked. Ice pop time.
Indeed.
For the record, for those who don't know, you can buy packs of 50 ice pops off Amazon for like £8. It's the best decision I've ever made in my life.
What? Oh my god!
Yeah,
I'm gonna need
just
a,
buy ice
I'm gonna
pops
need
off
a
Amazon.
link.
Let me find it.
All right.
Right, guys. Thank you for those of you who are watching. And we'll be back at 8:30. Thank you.
Too many DM schemes.
Right, and we are back.
Sitting there twirling his mustache.
Oh,
Yes.
I actually do definitely need to have a shave. Right.
You do.
I do. Right. So you guys have, I will say, you guys have long rested. So
Thank
enjoy
God.
that. Enjoy that. You are no longer at disadvantage with your checks and what have you.
Long rest. Yes.
Before we went to sleep, Johnny definitely would have prestidigitationed his cloak, his robes as well, to clean it full of from the food stains, specifically the egg and bean food stains.
Messy. So.
So what time are we on right now? So when did we get to sleep?
I presume we slept fairly early.
Yeah,
Considering.
you guys went.
Like at
You
8
guys,
o'clock or something?
yeah, you guys went to bed quite early. You guys went to bed about, I'd say, like with your meal, with having drinks and what have you. I'd say you went to bed around about 8, 9 o'clock, so an early night. But you know that makes you up pretty early at the same time.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay. Morning is yours. You wake up very early to the extent that the bar is kind of being still set, like it's not quite ready for people yet. What are you guys doing?
Well, I presume we'll head over and either first, like, should we split up? Have half of us go to the stable, half of us watch outside the dragon bet?
So I think we know they're coming for their things.
Horses.
So for me, the one place they have to go is the stables.
True, but the question is, where do we want to confront them? Because as far as everyone else is aware, they're just citizens who are now here.
Well, we don't have to confront them. We could follow them.
True. This is true, but we do also have to stay with our employer. Although if she's going to stay for one more day.
God, yeah.
Alright. Well,
If I'm getting into a fight, I'd rather do it outside of stables than outside a pub filled with people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pub fight's easier to pass off, though.
Fair point, yeah.
Although
What about 5 a.m. in the morning? To be fair.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, a pub fight with giant sort like blade hands and magical powers is less likely. So punching.
I mean, is it the sort of people that frequent these pubs?
I guess. I mean, reasonably. We saw how the rest went down. You could probably take them out on your own just punching. I'll give you a little boost and you just knock them all out. Easy pub fight. No crime done.
Bish bash bosh.
I could always dress up in my disguise kit and try and blend in as one of them on the way to the stables.
True, but we haven't had a look at what they look like yet because they were inside the wagon the whole time.
Well, we know what the guards look like.
That's true. I mean, sure, if you want to go up and say you managed to get away, and because they didn't even look out to see us, they just heard the commotion and ran. So you could attempt to disguise yourself like one of them and then get in with them, say you managed to get away, but the rest were killed.
Yeah.
Or could go to the stables, try and take their carts.
Also true.
Oh,
well,
sign me up.
But that's the thing, we don't know what they specifically look like is the only issue. So it would be difficult to... I actually think you can blag your way to what was his name? Not Dresden. The one who was looking after their horses.
It was Darius.
Darius. I knew it was a D.
I reckon, we'll give it worth a shot. I mean, we've seen these guys quite some time now. We've camped on the road with them. I'm sure I could disguise myself up as one of them relatively well. I also have, let's give it a shot.
Go for it.
Okay, and should the rest of us secrete ourselves outside the is secrete the right word?
Secrete.
I think it is the right word. Yeah.
I think we should defecate. Just defecate outside.
Yeah. Anyway,
Secretly.
I'm hoping these buildings just across the road, perhaps one of them is abandoned or has a nice little area we could hide in.
From
or
Welcome
maybe
back.
just round the corner in Water Street, just looking into so we can see the entrance.
Oh wait, where are you talking about? Oh, watching the entrance of the inn.
Sorry, hang on. Are we doing this at the inn or are we
Sorry,
doing
the
this at the
stables. That
stables?
was what I meant to say.
Yeah, watching this. Yeah, because obviously while he goes in, we want to be close enough to react, but not close enough that the proprietor sees a 7.5 foot tall robot and
True.
goes, "Oh, hang on, I recognise him because he was literally here yesterday."
Yeah, I mean, I could make you invisible.
Yeah, fine. If you want.
I mean,
it's probably
like-
easier just to stay around the corner, but
true, but if you have to rush out or something, it's potentially better that they don't see the giant hulking robot and then bolt, or the stable proprietor gets scared.
Yeah,
I'll just keep it
sold.
on standby. Just be ready for me to turn you invisible if shit goes down.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. And then Kane and Lara, you all, I guess, cover a different corner so we can cover all pathways in.
Yep. No, yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. I'll stick with Kane, I'll stick with combat unit, and then Johnny can go into the stables.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Is anyone going to be noticeably outside, or are we all going to take up sort of relatively covert positions? I know a couple of us were going to be sort of trying to hide, but nearby. Is anyone?
I think we have to be covert because otherwise, if those cultists turn up, they know what we look like.
Yeah, I feel like if they're coming from the Dragonback, they're either going to be going through the high road or, well, they'll definitely be going through Fields Lane. I doubt they'll take the whole outskirts. So I presume they'll either go up through here or through here, just the fastest path there. I doubt they'll be wanting to dawdle much. So if
I
we
would
can
suggest
cover this
one group here on this little X, looking that way, so you can see the stables, and if the other group could sit themselves here somewhere. I don't know what that terrain's like.
it might be easy to be spotted, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe if we were just like hugging the corner here, because if they're coming up through here, they might not check down this alley. So if we were just to like wait outside here and just look up this way,
Yeah, cool.
and then have the other group watch this path.
Well,
do we know what this place is?
I mean, you can certainly find out.
I don't believe we do.
Like, is it fairly safe to presume it's like a mayor's house or like the lord of the town, or is like
2 seconds.
go.
What he meant is he could certainly find out.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just like you can try and search number 6, and because I'm searching for there you go. It is the Ducal Castle.
Ducal Castle. Okay, so posh twat.
As long as we don't have to try and ask like Dustin or Tristan or whatever his name is for any information, then we're good.
Yeah, no, don't think we're making that mistake again. Alright, so just roll the plan one more time so we're all aware. Me and combat unit in Court Alley watching this entrance. Ara and Kane somewhere along this path to watch this path. Maybe out in the fields. Try and hide behind the stables or something, just to keep an eye out.
Good idea.
Johnny goes into the stables and tries to pass off and steal the horses.
Yeah. Do you think I'd be able to? How many carts do we know how many carts they've got stored there? Would someone have told me that?
Well, we chased 2 wagons in.
2. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I shall try and get 2 wagons out then. Sounds
Cool.
good.
Right.
Cool. Johnny is straight away going to find the nearest sort of alley, dark alley, and start changing into sort of relatively cultist get up and start using his disguise kit to
Make me a wisdom check.
a wisdom check. Oh dear.
Oh,
I'd say with advantage because you're trying to recall what the guards look like,
Yeah.
and you've remembered this several times. Okay. Regardless, you know they're not wearing cultist gear. In fact, this has come up several times that the guards do not look like cultists. They look like guards. They are purposely trying not to draw attention to themselves.
Yeah.
But they've got like the blue cape on and stuff like that.
They've just got normal travelers' capes and what have you on. One of them happens to be blue, one of them happens to be red. Like,
Were they wearing like a half plate by any chance? Like, could
you,
we tell what armor? Like, if they were wearing much metal armor at all when we were fighting?
some of them were definitely wearing some armor. That's about as much as you could tell.
I still have this battered metal half plate. Like, it's probably not much use for going to the stables, but if you're going to try and speak to the actual cultists, just an idea for the future, maybe to put this on to make it more realistic that you got away after taking a beating.
Yeah, hand it over. I mean, if I put this on, it means that I'm not going to be able to cast any spells wearing this. I'm not.
It's medium armor, or are you not proficient?
I mean, yeah, I'm not proficient.
cool.
So, but in
Okay.
game, this, I struggle to cast spells while I'm wearing such heavy armor.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it for now, but in case you wish to go there to speak to Carter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to dress up as
Okay, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Because like you've been chatting about this now for so long, literally dinner's starting to be like breakfast is now being served in the inn, in the Daggerford Inn.
Start walking over. Me and combat unit will go here and watch this way, and then Kane and Arrow will, I presume, choose some place to position over here, watch this path, and Johnny will go to the stables. Right?
As you can all see, that is drawn on the map very eloquently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Johnny would choose to try and dress as the guy that he hates, the one in the cloak.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool.
Give me a deception check.
Yes.
You're pretty confident. You're pretty confident that you've done a decent enough job that your appearance looks like the guards you've encountered.
Wonderful. Great. Okay. Well, Johnny is going to sort of walk separately to everyone else, just in case anyone was to see him, and walk towards the stables.
Okay. Are the rest of you trying to hide? Or are you standing in plain sight? What are you doing?
I presume hide. We don't want them to see us.
Yeah.
But hiding, but keeping an eye out on the pathways we're watching.
Okay.
I think the term would be like discreetly.
Yeah.
I don't want to like get a fake bush out and hide behind it. But I do want to sort of, blend in where there are other people here. I don't know.
Okay. Yep. Can you guys give me stealth checks, please?
Cool. Huge. And then I'll do arrows. Wait, she's not proficient in stealth. Oh, range, I guess.
No, she could have been proficient in stealth. She chose not to be. I'm just going to run out, do arrows because I can see that she is currently doing something else. It's reasonable enough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, between the Arrow and Kane, between the two of them, they just look like they're chatting away. Kane does get some attention because she is literally a tabaxi holding a dirty great glaive. Combat unit just can't help but be noticed. He is a 7.5 foot tall walking magical being that literally is made of black and sort of grey and metal armor. Like that is his form, and he has a sort of pulsing glow of either green or red coming out of him. He's not something that really is designed for stealth.
Yeah.
Now you tell us.
I put him in the bag of holding. The perfect disguise.
Okay, so yeah, Kane and Arrow are relatively well hidden over here, and yeah, unfortunately, combat unit is rather prominent down there. Johnny, you're making your way through to the stables.
I certainly am.
Okay.
And I'll knock. Is the door open?
Yeah, it's always open, and as you're approaching, you say, "Oh yeah!"
And I'm going to say, Can you bring the carts over as quickly as you can? It's urgent. We leave as soon as possible, and I am going to hold 2 gold out and hand it over to Tristan.
And he just goes, "You don't want to go check your horses."
Huh?
Your horses.
Yes. I'm obviously here to take the horses. Here's a little bit of an increased momentum focus, and I'm gonna hand him over the 2 gold pieces.
Yep, he takes 2 gold pieces. Hey, but you don't want to check on them.
Pardon?
You just see Elise just kind of like leans in and goes, "He's asking if you would not like to check on the horses."
Well, I trust as per our arrangement that they've been adequately kept, have they not?
They kind of both look at it and they're like, "Yes." Roll me a deception check.
You can do it.
Oh, come on.
With the advantage because of his dress?
Nope.
Come on.
And you can see like Elise is kind of like looking at you inspectantly, and there's just that. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, we obviously have you mixed up with a couple of gentlemen we helped out the other evening. So, sorry, which horses are you after?
Johnny would proceed to tell them it's the to try and describe as best he could the cultists' horses and carts, because he'll have been familiar, I presume, with the carts and what they look like.
He does. Okay, give me a straight wisdom check just to see how well you're able to recall them.
Straight whiz.
He is a straight whiz.
You're able to, in reasonable terms, convey they are definitely horses. You get the colour right, and you remember that they had carts and that they had a, like a covering. But you can see that there's. In fact, make me an insight check. Okay. They don't seem to be. They don't seem to be really like getting where you're going. Just turn around and just go, "What's your name?" It's like, "Yes, what are the names of the horses?"
Guess it.
Sting. Sting is the lead horse.
Okay, just bear with me a moment. Don't remember no Sting coming in my stables. Shall have a look. And like, Elisa's like, "Yes, I already said I was doing that," and just walks over and just starts checking. She's like, I'm terribly sorry, but we don't seem to have a Sting here. I think maybe you should check with your comrades as to what's carried on, just in case maybe there's been a miscommunication somewhere.
Well, that's interesting. They sent me here first thing to get the horses ready, and they're going to be mighty mad if I can get the horses out on time. You know how they are. You saw them yesterday, did you not?
It's like, well, as we don't know your horses, I can't say whether or not I did or did not. I'm terribly sorry, but if you don't know your horse's name, or where they are, or what they kind of looked like, I can't really help you. And I would ask you to come back with somebody who's a bit more informed on your horses.
Oh, provided they don't lynch me first. And Johnny's going to turn around and just sort of very slumped shoulders, hand in heads, almost like, oh my god, my world is ending. It's going to sort of just kneel on the floor for a minute and like put his hand in his head, feigning just.
Make me a
complete-
performance check. A straight performance check. You do look back and you just see the game, and he's just like grabbing you like on the shoulder, like, right, this is how don't worry, and he like heavily pats you on the back, like that little bit more heavily than you're really like expecting. Imagine Onthar when he's had a few too many drinks, just that proper like bam, bam, like on the back.
So I take a flat 19 damage. I wipe a tear away from my eye as I look expectantly at Tristan.
At Tristan?
Dresden.
Oh, Dresden. Okay.
With a DR, yes.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, when they come here, I'll make sure they do nothing bad to you, alright, boy? Right now. Go on, get back here and we'll have a right as rain for you.
Okay, I'll be back. Just please make sure you have them ready, please.
Right? As soon as you tell them which ones they are, they'll be ready.
Okay. Are there any as I'm walking out and as I'm sort of like, thanking this guy for quote unquote saving my life, are there any back entrances into this place?
No, you can see that there's quite clearly a wall all the way around it. I mean, obviously the one thing they don't want is horse thieves. So it's about a 10-foot wall all the way around. You can certainly scout it if you wanted to.
No. I'm good. I'm just gonna walk out, like, sniffling a little bit until I'm out of sight.
Okie doke.
And once I'm out of sight, I will send a message to both Kane and to combat unit just saying the plan has not gone according to plan. They don't know it's me, but they also have not got enough information to release the carts to me. So let's meet in the alley that Shell and Combat Unit were at and talk further.
Cool.
And Johnny will proceed to walk to where Shell and Combat Unit were stationed.
Okay, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, we'll wait for them to arrive, I assume.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out on the alley. Make sure near.
Okay,
well,
are you coming to
no
join
guards
us,
go
or?
past.
Yeah, I'm coming that way.
Cool.
Okay.
So I would obviously relay everything that went down in there, and yeah.
Did you not at least tell them that it was the horses near the back of the stable, specifically near the back?
I did not. No, I did not do that.
Okay.
Mm.
Well,
I tried to describe them.
Okay, so that could have gone significantly worse.
true. They didn't try to kill you, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing better than we normally do.
Is anyone watching the main part of the stables? As I see everyone here. I will attempt to nonchalantly walk back to where Kane were and just say, I'll keep an eye on there while you guys discuss next steps, just to make sure we don't miss them.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And
Okay. Shao, can you give me both a fresh stealth check and then a perception check?
I would cast invisibility on myself as I'm walking over there because I realise that now it's like casual time, so I'll cast it while I'm in the alley and then walk over.
Okie doke. Where are you casting it? So in the Calthali, yeah?
In Calthali, yeah. I'm invisibility on
Right,
myself.
so as you do that, you just hear somebody just turn around and go, "Neat trickle, boy, but don't really like that sort of thing round here." And as you go to cast invisibility, it just doesn't happen.
I'll look around. Do I see the source of the voice?
Yep, you do.
Hello.
Just this not particularly. I'd say old, definitely old enough. That gentleman, put it that way, like 60s, 70s, half elf guy, and he just goes, "And what be your name?"
Shao, what's yours?
"I'm Tennyson Windsailor."
Tennyson Windsailor.
Of course he is.
Quite the name.
Quite the tricks too.
Oh well, finding my way.
Yes, well, your cloak says you've had difficulty with that.
Yeah, it's a learning process.
Hmm.
I'm sure you're aware in your age.
Yes, and you look at his cloak, and his cloak is a dark blue with gold
Okay.
filigree around it, and
I was going to say.
and so you can surmise that he's probably got the same cloak.
Yeah, but can I surmise what sort of tendency that leads towards?
You can give me either an insight or an intelligence check, whichever one you prefer.
I'll go for intelligence because you said his was a dark blue, right?
Dark blue, right?
Yeah, because my mental was more like a light blue, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say that with the cloaking being, you can tell this is somebody who is obviously good. Definitely know that. But they're not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Cool. My type of wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just say this. Well, you've clearly toned yours quite well to your life.
Well, that is what it does. Now, what's your business here? And he will come close. He's not trying to, shame you guys or
Yeah.
bring you close.
Cool. Well, honestly, we're here to hopefully stop some nefarious persons, sort of get some more information on what they're doing.
Okay, give me a persuasion check. A straight persuasion check.
That's like, oh, not my worst.
Nice. He
Nice.
goes, nefarious, eh?
Hmm.
Alright, well. Who gave you the coat?
My mentor did.
And he kind of like gestures like, yes, name.
Well, I'm not sure if you would know him. How much have you travelled? Knowing full well that he has travelled a lot.
Yeah, he's like, quite a bit, young boy. You don't get... And he kind of gestures to the gold filigree. He's like, don't get that for sitting on your ass.
Yeah. I forgot to note down the name of the mentor because I made it up on the spot.
I left that down to you.
Yeah. Alright, Herman. There you go.
Herman, okay. Herman! He's a good boy. He's the one who gave you this, is he?
Yeah, he is. He taught me most of what I know.
Well, I won't say anything, but let's just say if I see you again, I expect that to be a different shade, young man.
I'll try my best. I wouldn't want to disappoint such a great wizard as yourself and my mentor.
Quite. Alright, well, if it is nefarious stuff, and he kind of looks, and he looks at the Warforged, he goes, well, you guys are quite a formidable little bunch, aren't you? And then kind of looks over to Kane, it's like, tips his hat a bit, and just kind of goes, So let me guess, Blood Hunter, you've got a Paladin. Well, you seem to be on the right side of the line, so I shan't interfere anymore, but I don't like this sort of things in this town. Me and my neighbour, we keep these sort of things on wraps, and we saw you coming in, flashing around. But, well, we'll do what I can. So, well, good luck. And as he leaves, you just hear him mutter, and all of you are now invisible.
Oh, I was going to say before he left, as he turned around, should I just say, perhaps if you obviously live here, could I potentially catch up with you later and discuss potentially further mentoring?
Yes, by all means, boy, just swing by. And he just kind of gestures. He goes, it's the red house at the end. and he points to this house here.
Cool. I'll be sure to pop in.
Yeah, so be quiet. The neighbour's not as friendly, and he can be a bit brash, though. And he kind of like points to the golden triangle next to it. He goes, "Another wizard, but not quite as friendly."
Good to know. I'll steer clear.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. And now everyone's invisible.
Yep.
Did we overhear that conversation at all?
100%. He literally
Yeah,
walked
we were
up
right
to your
next to you.
group.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice old man.
Oh, where's that coming from?
Just prod where Johnny was.
Johnny's not moved. That definitely hits him. Like, oh,
Well, this makes things easier.
but it does.
Um,
So what's the plan?
I mean, I'm going to go over and watch to make sure no one goes by the stable before we come up with a plan. And I will head over there.
Perception check. I'll say as you're invisible, and you're relatively intelligent, I'm pretty sure you can stay off the beaten path. Just give me a perception check, please.
Huge.
Fair enough.
Keeping watch.
Doing.
Your mic cut out. All we have
Yeah,
is
you
doing.
just cut out there, Dave.
Just saying, what are the rest of you doing?
So, I mean, now we're invisible. Maybe we've got some other options on the board. We could try and sneak in and just go sit on the carts. I presume we know which ones they are. I tried describing them, but as you know, I'm not the best at describing stuff. I'm very forgetful. We can go in and try and sneak in there, or I say we. I mean, sure, some of us a little bit more light-footed could sneak in there and whip some horses and whip them round and out. Or we can.
Yeah, 77's keen with the plan, but he thinks he should wait outside and pick him up on the way past.
Kane is definitely happy to go rummage.
One thing about now I'd say that you notice, Shao, is one seriously fucked off employer walking around the town.
What time is it?
Son of a bitch.
It's about sort of like 8, 9 a.m. round about now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Because I think they said to us at 9 the next day. Okay. Then in that case, I will send. So where do I see them? Just like around here-ish. Like just leaving the chateau, I presume, because I have it within my sight.
You're literally in eyesight basically of the chateau. So you just see them come out and just like them look around. They've got their wagon hitched up. And you can see there's some very evident mutterings of what you can basically make out to be like, of course they're not fucking ready. Of course they're not fucking here. What's a massive surprise?
Seeing that, I will send a message to the party just one by one. Say, employers are outside, ready to go, looking pissed off. We might need to convince them to wait half an hour to an hour and just go straight to Dragonback.
Okay. Anyone want to go deal with that, or do you want me to? I feel like if Kane and Ara are maybe willing to sneak in to the stables and try and rustle some horses. Combat unit waits outside in case anything shit goes down. Shall on lookout. That leaves me. I will do my best to grovel and just tell everyone that everyone else has got a touch of the flu as a result of some less than elite dining. Because we put all of our money into helping her get in the Chateau Elite. I'm pretty sure we paid for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, leave it with me. I'm going to break invisibility and change as I'm sort of walking back, just start of like peeling away like all of the the disguise I sort of had on until I'm eventually back to just me.
As he's going, I would just send a message also to the employer and just say, in a somewhat what would be the word for it? Muffled voice to sort of like attempt illness. and just sort of go, Johnny's on the way. So sorry, a little bit late.
Give me a performance check.
Thank God it's Sharon, not me. It's not bad.
Back.
Well, she said back.
You just got a
Ah, okay. Got you. Alright. Well, I'll keep a lookout.
Char's performance check might not have come in helpful because Johnny is going to come round the corner, like just sort of like quite sprightly, and sort of like as soon as he sees her, like, you know, look at her, smile, like almost marching towards her, just like, yes, I'm here and ready for the day.
Well, what I said was Johnny's coming, the rest of us are a bit sick.
Okay, yep, sure.
And I am going to just while everyone's getting in position, approach the employer and just be like, "Top of the morning to you, ma'am. How are you?
Make a
Did you sleep
dexterity.
well?"
Make a dexterity check.
Oh, God damn son of a gun!
What can she throw?
Oh no!
Right,
I'm gonna get hit.
Correct.
6. So
Oh, come on!
so literally, you're just like top of the, and you say bam, as like you are still invisible. You have at no point said you dropped invisibility, so you have just approached.
Say I dropped invisibility.
He said he dropped invisibility and
He
started
did.
to peel away his costume.
Okay, I didn't hear that bit. I apologise. So that is my bad. You don't take the 6 damage, but I could have swore that was the case. I'll redact that then. But
Thank
effectively,
you.
so you turn up. So you turn up, and the employer's just like, oh, you seem very well for someone who's meant to be ill.
But
I'm not ill. I'm good. You should. That said, you should see the rest of them. They couldn't keep up with me. Well, I say they couldn't keep up. They didn't try. They all went to bed quite early. Well, they all ate the fish. You see, I always go for the steak myself.
She's like, great. Where's your horses?
Oh, they're in the stable. I shall go and get them ready to begin another day. I trust you will just. Are you going to be okay to collect?
Halfway through that sentence, she just goes, "I'll meet you in the drill field," and literally just like starts getting onto the carriage.
Of course, ma'am. Great idea. We'll be there as soon as we possibly can. Do be safe. And very sprightly, Johnny's going to walk away, and start marching towards the stable.
Okay, so you start walking towards the stable.
I do.
Anybody else doing anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Right, Johnny, you walk up to the stable.
I didn't speak for everyone, but 77's not.
Well, no, nobody else said anything either, so.
Yeah, no, I'll say.
Okay.
I'm going to, as I put my hand on the door ready to just open it, as it's always open, send a quick message to both Kane and Ara saying, I'm going to open the door, wander in to see how our horses are doing, hoping they don't recognise me for being the person I tried to be a little bit ago. Now's probably the time to try and come in if you were going to try that. And I'm going to open the door.
The door it's massive barn doors effectively that are just constantly open. So I'd say you probably just went to the side of it.
Just before, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And just as you approach, you go, "Hey, Johnny!"
Oh, Tristan! I'm like mimicking his enthusiasm. I'm really hyped right now. You know, it's all going off. Completely the opposite of how I was when I was trying to be in that guy's disguise.
Yep. Like, "Hey, was it looking good there? They were good to go here."
Are they? Do show me.
Alright, and he puts his arm around you and like almost like clinches you and he's like, "This way, laddie," and just starts walking with you down there. And you can just look over and Elise just looks at you and that sort of like, "Sorry, God."
I put my arm around him and start matching his exact marching movements.
Okay. So as he's walking out, he goes, Oh, there's Roach over there, and we got Maid Stomper, they're both looking pretty fucking good right there. AHA did a good job, good lads, them. Right? And then we got your other two, they're doing alright too, I guess. So, yeah, do you want me to hitch them up and get them brought around?
Oh, you know I would, and I am going to. Yeah, just you know I would.
Alright, 1 minute. Elsie, get the horses! Figure out the guards! This will be my road. And
Of course.
and you see Elsie just puts her fork down, huffs, walks over, hitches up the horses, and about like 5, 10, 15 minutes later, they're kind of able to hitched up. They've got the wagons. They'll coming back, and they'll come back round.
While Elsie was prepping and getting the horses ready, did I see? Now I'm a little bit deeper in. Did I see the back of the stable? Did I see exactly where their carts were?
No, the carts are basically put out and round. So if you're on the map, basically, sort of here effectively is where the carts are kept, and then they kind of look after the horses and everything here. So they kind of get brought through that little changeway just to move them about. So the carts are in one place, looked after. Horses are looked after another one, and yeah, that's pretty much it really.
Sure. So that you said that's 15 minutes ongoing, yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess if anyone else is doing anything in that time, I'll let them go.
Cool. Kane and Ara are then going to go into the stable. They're invisible, aren't they?
They are for the moment. Yep.
Okay, so are we then able to start rummaging about?
You're not just like Pam and you're in the stable.
Yeah.
Well, how are you trying to get into the stable?
Well, whereabouts am I? Because I don't have any.
Over here.
Yeah. The entire group regrouped here, and then when everything went to pot, and then you're now moving. So what are you doing?
Okay, well then I'm going to come up. Why doesn't it work?
What are you trying to do? Trying to come up this route?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then it's not letting me highlight it for some reason.
No, you don't. You hold down the click and it will ping.
No. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just wrong.
Okay. Okay, so you trying to go over the wall? You trying to go through the front doors? What are you trying to do?
Through the front door.
Through the front door. Okay, give me a stealth check with advantage,
Do you want me to do the same power?
please.
21.
Nice. Okay, so you manage to come through, and Ara helps you out a bit, like by lifting you up when you're just about to, go past some hay and what have you that you just hadn't quite spotted, and you're able to get in relatively far into the stables. You're now like in the main complex.
Yeah. Can we see where the wagons are?
The wagons you would have to go basically through, turn right, and then they're outside. Like you guys would know that as you saw them put away your horses and stuff.
Cool. So can I then go out towards the wagons?
Sure. You walk along, you're able to come out, and that you see your wagons are actually being put together. You see Elsie's just like starting to hitch up combat units to his chariot, and you start to see Ara's and Shao's horses are starting to be kind of like latched together to the main wagon.
And is there anything that I can sort of look for?
What are you looking for?
I don't really know. Just
I can't help you with that. If you tell me what you're looking for, I can tell you whether or not you can or not, and what you need to roll to find it.
Now it works. Sorry.
Sorry?
Like, can I actually get onto the wagon?
Which wagon? Your wagon? Or
Their wagons.
their wagons? Well,
Yeah.
roll me a perception check to see if you can find them.
No, they're near the back.
Okay. You do spot their wagons. They are sealed up as they ever were, and they actually do have a gentleman leaning up against them, who you make out is probably one of the guards.
Okay. Oh, hang on a moment. Don't I have something where I can be extra quiet or something?
No, that's just your stealth.
Like, could I not try and get in the wagon without disrupting him?
You can certainly try. So their wagons are pretty sealed down tight. What are you trying to do? You trying to get in?
I want to get in, but I don't know if I should.
Just like, could Ara try and get in? Because she absolutely would.
They can both try. They can certainly try.
Yeah, Ara will try and sneak in, being the smaller of the two first, at least, and attempt to get in, or at least secured on the cart somewhere where she's not going to get bumped into.
Okay.
Cool.
Give me a sleight of hand check. A straight sleight of hand check. Yeah. As you're kind of down there, and neither of you can really see each other because you're both invisible.
Mhm.
And Ara kind of slinks down, and Kay's like, "Oh, okay, I'll let her go first. She knows what she's doing." And Ara kind of goes down, and you see this ping as she removes one of the ropes, and it's under torsion. So it just flips up, and you hear this as it rattles against the canvas. And the guy's like, "What's going on? What's going on back there?" And just starts looking around the corner.
So she'll attempt to, eventually, if the guard goes clockwise round, she'll go clockwise as well to avoid.
They're up against they're basically up against a wall. So you've got if you imagine an L shape, coming off, the wagons are against the back of the wall and into the side of the wall. So you've basically
so
got an
only
L
two
shape.
sides.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she'll try and back up as far into a corner as she can, and then when she spots a good opening to try and sneak past to get out the door into the stable part, then she'll try and do that.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Okay. 22.
Yeah, she's able to very deftly. Kane kind of just using her feline perception just is able to just make out little bits where she can see that Ara's like kicking up dirt and what have you, and she sees that Ara doubles back, and just all of a sudden Kane just hears this, "Hey, well, that didn't go quite according to plan, now did it?" What are you guys doing?
So what's the guard doing at the moment?
Yeah.
He's patrolling around trying to figure out what's going on. He's put that rope back. He's he's half put it down.
Is he the only guard in there?
No, Elsie's. Well, he's the only guard, but Elsie is
Yeah.
also in there preparing the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Okay.
carts and wagons.
Trying to think. So if they're on, so are both the wagons in the same place then?
Yes, they are.
And so, oh god, like looking in, does it seem feasible that to Ara that she could get in, sort of maybe inscribe on one while they're working on the other, just so they would become more recognizable? Or is that seeming like it's going to be almost impossible to do?
Give me a intelligence check from Ara. I mean, she's not sure. She thinks she can probably pull it off, but she doesn't know for sure.
She will refrain from doing so for now.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Ara will attempt to find Kane and look in her direction for guidance.
I don't have the guidance right now. I really don't know what to do.
If we know that.
Okay, whilst you guys are figuring that out, you can obviously message each other on Discord or whatever if you have to. So, whilst you guys are trying to do that, combat unit, what are you doing?
Well, so I'm still standing outside, just kind of keeping watch. So I'm looking for the cultist guards and all their employers to arrive.
Okay.
Basically, providing backup for this lot as well.
Make me a perception check.
Today is not a good day.
Today is not a good day. You're kind of like trying to keep an eye out on everyone, and by that, it's the classic you can't see the wood for the trees. You're just like, you're kind of like, yeah, and then you kind of have that moment of like, I don't know what I've seen. What the fuck? Like, and then you kind of like refocus a bit, and you're trying again to like, kind of pick them out and what have you. Shao, what are you doing?
Shao again would just be watching the road outside the Chateau Elite.
Okay, can you give me a perception check as well, please?
Cool. Can I carry my other one from because he hasn't stopped looking?
Sure. Okay, I'll say yeah, that's fair enough. You do notice people that you presume to be guards, and you do recognise probably one of them from your encounter, because the other one you didn't get a good look at, are now heading towards the stable.
Cool. I will immediately message combat unit and Johnny, and also towards the barn, the stable. Unsure if he'll get through, but just in that direction for Kane and Ara to let them know that they're on the way in. We need to be ready. And then I'll let Johnny know to maybe try and stall the employer just a little bit longer, get them moving. And then
Johnny's in the stable now. He's not with the employer. Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
So Johnny, what are you doing?
Well, hearing the message, I would get the horses, all four of them, avec cart, and and start wandering out of the stable, but towards the left-hand side where I presume the guards / cultists are not coming in, and sort of keeping my head down and relatively out the way, just basically so I can go down Corth Alley, cut back across, and get into the drill field.
Okay, yeah, so you're going down like Water Street, Corth Alley, and then back that way, yeah?
Yeah, did you say the guards were coming up from this direction?
Yeah.
That's definitely what I'm doing then. Just staying out the way, head down, horses with me.
Okay, so as you're kind of like taking all of these reins, Dresden kind of looks at you and just goes, "Strange."
Yes, actually, Dresden, if you'd be so kind.
Elsie! See, this girl's literally just picked up her fork and is just like, puts it back down, walks over, and it's like, yes, Dresden, everybody orders. It's like, yes, Dresden, and she kind of looks over at you and like, fuck me, sure, and so she kind of takes combat units and your horse actually, leaving you with the actual wagon.
Cool. I'll grab the reins to the both of them and start and walk out with her. But I'll let her walk out to the. I'll walk out to the left, knowing that we've got some guards coming up on the right.
That's fine. As you go and take down Water Street, she goes, "Oh no, sorry, you can't come down there. That's all residents. We have to go around the outside, and I assume you're meeting up at the drill field, but you just go around the outside."
What, like through River Road?
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Oh, absolutely, of course. Let's go. And I'll chat to her about why she actually works for this guy, because he seems like just not the best.
Fair enough. All right, so I'll come back to that in a moment. Kane and Ara, what are you guys doing?
Kane can roughly see where Ara is, right?
No,
well,
she's invisible.
I know she's invisible. You said she was like kicking up dust and shit.
That's as she was coming up, so you know that she's roughly next to you. Put it that way.
Yeah, because they whispered to each other.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to attempt to get out and wait for them outside. So like Kane will probably just like reach out in the hope that she grabs her, hoping to get like the scruff of the neck, like I've got a kitten.
Okay, and what, are you just going to pull off the wall and basically work your way around?
Yeah.
Okay, you keeping up invisibility?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so that's gone on. Combat unit, you've kind of seen the horses and carts coming out. Also, Shao's told you that, like, they're on their way. Shao and combat unit, what are you guys doing?
I presume getting ready. I'll quickly cast sending down to. No, I won't. I'm not doing that. What are you going to say? Combat unit?
Well, 77 is, I mean, position himself just outside the stables, preferably in a little corner where he's not going to get knocked over by someone. Just waiting for either something to kick off or the guys to come out.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's literally just waiting for something to kick off.
Well, you have
Yeah.
seen them come out now. You've seen Johnny come out with the
Wasn't-
horses and carts.
So I would like to wait on the side of where they're going to come out and wait for the cultist wagon to come out.
Yeah. 77 will do the
Invisible
same.
Yeah, I want to be sort of like within arm's reach almost, though, to be able to sort of like stick something to the wagon so they're more easily identifiable.
Okay. So as you basically like watch the cultists go in, or the guards rather, as they approach, you just hear them. He goes, "Hey, enough! Dragon scale. All right." And he goes to go and call for Elsie, and then realizes that she's not there, and goes,
What did he say? What was the first one? I heard dragon scale. I didn't hear the first one.
That's all you heard.
Oh, just dragon scale. Okay.
Yeah.
I also thought your mic cut out, to be fair.
Yeah, so he basically pushes forward, gets the two horse and carts, pulls them out one by one, and just leaves them there. And then you see the guards, one who was already there jumps in the back immediately, obviously grabbing some kip or something. And then you also notice that another three joined them, one getting in each of the carts, and then one staying on the outside to be a walking guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes, "Bigger!" And as he goes to say doing business with you, they just go, "Yep," and they just put a small coin purse in his hands, and he goes, "Oh, and he just carries on. Moving on. The cultists start moving out. What are you guys doing?
As they go out, would I be able to nonchalantly, because I can imagine I can get pretty close without being spotted to the wagon, just because I'm waiting outside the door.
You're still invisible, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to attempt to just, I don't know, to take out my ink pen and just sort of draw a line on the back side of the cart, if that makes sense.
Okay, give me a.
So,
No, I was gonna say it's more sort of almost acrobatics because you're having to.
this way, if you're asking for stealth, sleight of hands, or acrobatics, it's all the same.
Okay, we'll say sleight of hand then, just to make it nice and easy.
Cool.
Nice. So you are able to kind of get some form of marking on the first wagon.
Yeah.
But with the second wagon,
Yeah.
you're just not quite able to. They turn around a bit quicker than you're expecting, and you just managed to get a small marking on it. That's it.
Cool. That's all I needed.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm just gonna stand and wait now. So, what are they taking the same path down the river road?
They actually go down to Horseway because it's a more direct route.
They're going down to Horseway. Okay. In that case, I presume they're not running with the horses, right? They're just leading them at a slow trot.
I mean, it's not particularly. You can't really go that fast in towns and cities that don't like it too much.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to try and message Combat U and just say we need to get to the drill field, preferably to leave just after them.
Moving.
And I will run. I mean, I'll just run away from them down the river road and attempt to catch up with Johnny. I presume if I'm pelting it, I should be able to get there around the same time.
Give me a Constitution check.
Sure. It's one of my better ones, surprisingly.
Nice. You get knackered just where the D is in River Road, and you can just see the cart clipping the bottom tower down here.
Okay. Sure. I will. I mean, yeah. Then I'll just continue my pace. I won't continue sprinting if I'm gonna keel over and die.
Yeah.
So 77 obviously got that message. Now, am I right in saying that they're going this way, the cultist carts?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So 77 will just follow along, but he's invisible, so he'll just follow along behind them because he wants to see where they're going. So I assume they follow that. When they get to this junction, can I see which way they go?
They're going towards the drill field.
Are they going to the
Yeah,
field as
yeah.
well?
There's only one real exit to the city.
There's 2 exits. There's one to the west and one to the south, or 3 exits and one to the east.
True, but I thought like everyone uses this main one out the front. I didn't.
So
Or was that not there?
as you just roughly approach there, all of a sudden you hear this, and as you look down, you are no longer invisible.
I'll immediately slow down and let the carts pull ahead of me a little.
Yep. Shal, you're also no longer invisible, and anyone else that was invisible is also no longer invisible.
Mhm.
Cool. Once I determine that they're going to the drill field, I'll just follow them in and be looking to catch up with our guys who we know are also meeting at the drill field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ideally, keeping an eye on the cultists as well.
Okay. So yeah, you match them up and you see the entire caravan has assembled in the drill field, and they are like basically waiting for everyone to get ready and what have you, and they're kind of there's kind of like, oh, for God's sake, they're always late, like as the the cultist ones turn up. And yeah, so Johnny, in this time, you've just been turning, and Elsie's like, well, he does pay well, and it's hard to find jobs sometimes in these cities. I did work the bar for some time, but it just didn't work out.
Well, how much do they pay you for working at such a? How much does he pay you for working at the stable? Because it sounds like you definitely earn your money.
Well, I get about 5 silver a day, which is pretty good going, to be honest with you. But then again, I am asked to be pretty much a dog's body, so swings and roundabouts, as they say.
That is a pretty good wage. If any, we're all as fortunate to earn so much money. That was unnecessary. Yeah. So the I had a bit of a run-in with someone that was crying as I was entering the stable. Someone in sort of like a blue cape. What was that all about? What did you say to him?
I don't really know. He seemed to be quite the, well, let's just say sensitive type. Not really my sort of thing. But he's. I mean, to be honest with you, we thought he might have been a horse rustler or something, because he came in, didn't know anything about the horses, but was very desperate for us to just take them and give them to him.
Sounds like a loser to me.
She kind of like nods and that sort of like, yeah.
Yeah. Johnny like holds his head down a little bit. Yeah. What was he after? Whose horses was he after, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I mean, there was a few that kind of roughly matched his descriptions, but I don't know. I mean, he seemed to be. He looked similar to some people that we helped out, and then as they were kind of like round the corner and coming up, it's like should kind of be getting off. She'd be like, "We helped out some fellas last night. They wanted their mate to stay guarding the wagons. It was all a bit strange, to be honest with you. But well, hope you have a pleasant journey."
Well, thank you very much for the help, and I'm gonna tip her 2 silver pieces.
She'd be like, "Thanks," and then just like puts it back slowly in her pocket, looking a bit not disheartened or annoyed, but kind of somewhere in the middle, and just being like, "Thank you," and then just like slowly starts to walk back up Horse Way, and you see her kind of have to quickly jolt out the way as the cultures come through. She's like, "Fucking people," and just walks off.
Johnny is going to hide behind Mage Stomper in hopes that they don't make him out.
Okay, no. And what are the rest of you guys doing? Kane, what are you doing?
So Kate and I were outside. So did they see them also traveling towards the drill field?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So she's gonna put on a little bit of a jog and go down. Is it Horse Way?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Arrow will follow behind.
Cool. No, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so you guys all kind of meet up in the drill field. Somebody give me a. Is anybody proficient in deception?
Oh, good day. Hello, how we doing?
Give me a deception check.
I was gonna give me a major check.
Rolls, Johnny.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No, nothing seems to spook your fancy.
Cool.
You did notice that there's a gnome that seems to have recently kind of jumped on the caravan. Yeah.
Is he in his own wagon?
No, they seem to kind of just be, or they seem to join at same sort of time as this person who's the cultists. But they don't let anyone near their wagons. That's strange.
Hmm.
Oh well, yeah. Name seems to be quite nice. She's spoken to several of them, like several of the people. Seems to be quite innocuous, just commenting on the weather and things like that.
Interesting.
Okay, and do you guys start to make your way out?
Yeah, I mean, we'll meet up with the employer, obviously, and attempt to say, ready
I-
to go.
I will send just before, as I see Shal or whoever it is, whoever I see first come into the picture, I'm going to send messages to them under my breath like, you ate the bad fish, remember?
That's a good point. I will turn back, knowing Shal's acting skills are not the best. And he will go ahead into his carriage and man the horses. Slouched
Oh.
over.
Okie doke, so you guys start making your onward journey to carrying on down to Waterdeep with your employer in tow.
Mm-hmm. Keeping an eye,
I
hopefully.
cannot believe
on-
we've tried so many times to deal with these cultists, and every
should
time
have
we've
gone straight to
failed
the
so
wagon back.
badly.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like we're getting confused a lot, but isn't our initial goal just to follow them?
Yeah, but I really want to see what's inside those wagons now.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess. But
To be fair, we've probably gained ourselves an advantage where we've knocked out about 80% of their guards.
that's true. That is very true.
So when it comes down to it, they've got less guards.
I know they couldn't go and speak to Tennyson.
Also, we're back on this cursed map again.
Yeah.
You guys do not have the best of luck on this map.
Which is, again,
Spent half the
concerning,
game
because, we spent half the game on it, and we have such bad luck on it.
Okay, so you guys managed to kind of, get back on. The employer seems to be interested, but, just kind of like interested into what you got up to and why you all decided to eat the fish, etc.
It's good for the joints.
Fair enough. I would say that a couple of days have passed.
Oh wait, I love how combat unit, someone that doesn't eat, has explained that to our employer and she's not battered an eyelid.
He still has joints.
Sure, he does have joints.
I didn't say it. I could rub the fish oil on my joints or something. No, it doesn't have to eat it. Maintenance. You've got to maintain machinery.
So, by the way, if you're saying it's going to have been a couple of days, sometime in those days, can I have used sending to Tennyson to say, sorry, I had to leave, hope we meet again? Just courtesy.
To who, sorry?
Tennyson Windsailor.
Okay. So as you're kind of like leaving, you just hear, oh, maybe we'll go light a shade after all.
Aw.
And-
Shall swoons inside a little bit, and then continues.
Okay. So it's been a couple of days travel, and you guys have kind of like again, you've noticed this like gnome person coming around and what have you. One of the things that you did notice is that she does seem to be very good at remembering things. After you've like spoken to them a few times, you kind of get this thing of like they remember everything I say, like little details. And a couple of days later, you're sitting around one of your little campfires, and uh, they just come over, and you guys are just about to tuck into your oatmeal from your rations. And after poking through your oatmeal with her blade, it's a bit presumptuous, she just kind of like walks over and just starts poking through it with her blade. The gnome lifts out and shows you an oatmeal smeared object resembling a tiny bead. She glances over her shoulder towards where the cultists eat their breakfast. Say, it's a silver of bone. And then she kind of corrects herself and goes, no, sorry. It's a sliver of bone. Curled
Didn't know
into a
about that.
circle, you can swallow it in a mouthful of gruel without noticing. Once eaten, it slowly incurls inside you, exposing needle points that pierce your guts and kill you slowly. I suspect they're in all your breakfasts. And she's just going to get up and start to walk away, and she just says, let's talk this evening.
I think I'm okay for oatmeal. I will push mine to the side. Can we search the other bowls?
You certainly can. Give me a investigation check.
Excuse me, digging my hands through your food. Big numbers.
Okay. You do find small little lumps that might be bone slivers, but they might also just be oat husks, sawdust, or an insect egg. You're not really sure. You do also notice that two of the cultists keep on looking in their direction, but they're definitely trying to like hide their interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel as soon as the gnome said, "These will kill you. Let's talk later," Johnny just put down the oatmeal
Yeah.
and no more.
If Shao notices them looking at him, he'll sort of like stare back and just empty the oatmeal on the floor next to him, just to see their reaction.
You don't see any perceivable reaction. Like
Okay.
they don't seem to give anything away.
Okay.
Anything you
I
guys would like to do during the day?
Whereabouts is the gnome travelling within the caravan?
Up and down. Doesn't seem to be stuck to any particular, wagon, which is quite common. People do join just to be part of a, sort of
larger group.
well-guarded, large group of people heading to another city. So if they have the same destination, it's not unusual for people to just tag along.
First of all, is this a female gnome?
Yes.
Okay. And I presume they have a horse or a donkey.
No. They just seem to be on foot.
Okay. Right. Strange. Next time before she approaches, I will cast Detect Magic, just preemptively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys aren't doing anything during the day, comes to evening. Oh,
Obviously, I'll just continue carving my stone.
fair enough. As everyone starts to bed down, she approaches herself. She approaches and like introduces herself and just says, "Your detect magic." Notice a couple of things: her blade and a couple of items that are kind of like,
Stashed away.
yeah. So she's got some interesting things, but you know. And she just walks up to the group and just very quietly sat down as if she's just talking, just goes, "We don't work for the same people, but we're all on the same side. We share a belief that the culture dragon must be stopped. I need to know what they're carrying in those wagons and where they're taking it. Will you help me find out? We can do it tonight."
What's the plan?
Well, I have my ways, and I'm sure you have your own. It's just a case of, are you willing to help or not?
I think willing and capable are two separate things. We've been willing for some time now. Just intrigued at how you intend to get inside of the wagon when they're so well locked down and guarded all the time.
Well, I have my ways, but also I'm a bit interested about the red wizard that joined them.
As would we be if we knew what that was.
A red wizard? Have we not met a red wizard before?
Don't think so.
Are you sure? Have we not met anyone that looked like maybe a wizard, dressed in red, came for a certain deck that we no longer have?
He didn't seem to be a wizard of any kind.
I don't know. It's just what he might want you to think. You never know.
Did Samson's robes, like, was he wearing robes or just like garments?
Make me a history check, see if you can recall it.
Sure. So I remember like looking him up and down, trying to decide if he was magical.
Definitely magical. Definitely magical. You got that essence straight away, but you couldn't tell if he was a wizard, a mage, a cleric, whatever. You can't really recall.
Oh, I thought he was just a buffoon.
I mean, you're not wrong, but maybe he's a magical, helpful buffoon that also has it out for us. Maybe he's being... I don't know, it'd be interesting.
I guess. Good to know.
Are we still part of the main caravan that we were part of from the beginning? Obviously, because we took a little bit of a detour in Daggerford. Yeah, okay, cool.
The entire like place rested up at Daggerford, the entire caravan did, and then moved on.
Are we towards the back or towards the front of the caravan?
At the moment, you guys are bedded down for the evening. That's the reason why she's come over. So you all kind of rested up.
But we can see them because we saw them looking at us.
Yeah, they are literally just bedded up across from you. Let me take you to a better map.
The slaughter map.
Pretty much.
We're on the slaughter map.
The enemy slaughter map.
Of course.
There we go.
This place takes me back.
Sure it does.
Is there a place in which... Because I guess I'm quite keen to, and I will relay this to... Is that I presume the gnome is still with us, so I don't mind. What's your name, miss?
And she'll just look over and go, "That's a unneeded artifact."
Miss unneeded.
Okay, what can we address you as?
Your friend. That's all you need to know for now.
Bit presumptuous, but alright.
I've been doing this a while.
Do you know where the Red Wizard is bedding down for the evening?
And she kind of just looks over and just like gestures to the cultist encampment. It's like, I would presume somewhere there, as they are travelling together.
Okay. I was going to say, does anyone fancy going invisible and maybe having a quick scout to see if we can see of any red wizards? Maybe of their likeness, and report back.
She's just going to turn around and be like, she's not difficult to spot. She's the one trying to be inconspicuous and as such being conspicuous.
She.
Well, I'm not sure. Just...
Did Samson have any feminine features, boys and girls?
Do we see Samson's cart anywhere?
I mean, Samson's cart is not necessarily in this gathering, but you've seen it constantly as you've been travelling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think it was Samson. Like, he was travelling separately with separate girls. They didn't seem to be part of the cult.
Okay, I don't know if you guys missed it, but somebody literally joined the group of the cultists at Daggerford. I
Right.
pointed that out to you and even said how strange it was because they never let anyone near the encampment.
I thought you were talking about the gnome.
I thought you were talking about the gnome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said the notice a gnome and someone joins the.
I thought you said the gnome as.
Oh.
Let's assume straight away from now on it's not Samson.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Let's assume instead.
I was just like, you guys are like going down this path, and I'm like, it's fucking obvious who it is. What do you mean? Like, what do they look like and shit? I was like, oh, you obviously misheard that, or I might have misspoken, which is
Either
equally
way.
is.
Either way.
Either way. All right.
So-
Well, I mean, if we're just looking to see what's inside, hey, gnome friend, I don't suppose you have herbs and spices on. Oh, sorry, not herbs and spices, herbs and incense. do you?
We're having a KFC.
She kind of looks at you quizzically. She's like, no, but I can get it if you need it.
How quickly?
Depends. I'll have to see who has one. She kind of just looks around the camp.
If you can, about 10 gold's worth would be delightful, and I will hand her 10 gold.
Okay. And she just kind of looks and goes, alright, I'll see what I can do. It probably won't be tonight, though.
Ah! Well, either way. Sounds good. Alright. How do we find out what's in the wagon? Because invisibility has not worked in the past. Do we see how many guards are outside the cultist wagons? We slaughtered about 10.
How many cards are outside the wagon? There's about 3 or 4.
Johnny's going to say something a little bit dicey, but do we just throw down? Like, sneak
Oh, God.
sneak up.
Again.
If there's only 4 guards, there's 5
I do.
of us.
Okay, I am gonna DM enter this. Okay, you guys are meant to be following the cult. Your entire mission is to follow them. Okay, that was the entirety of the instructions that you were given. So far, you have battled with them on 3, if not 4 occasions, and you're meant to be being stealthy and just following them. So just in case that got lost at some point, that is literally what you were asked to do by Leosin and Onthar, was to follow them. And especially Johnny, who is one of Onthar's like sort of like people who kind of, you know, like helped him out and what have you. Trying to think of the word, acolyte would be the best word. Like, he's made it critically clear they don't know what they're up to. So that's the reason why they want you to follow them. If they wanted you to destroy them, they could have done that back at Greenest or at one of the other encampments. It's like, this is a information finding mission.
Thank you.
Johnny's going to retract the let's throw down. now he knows what the objective is.
I still think it's unreasonable that with them all this time and we're not allowed to fight them. Like,
We have fought them.
I've been itching for a fight all this time.
Alright.
we haven't fought anyone yet. Like, come on.
So, I was just going to say, alright. So our best chance is to, again, distract them and sneak in and try and look inside the wagon. Like,
Or just to back completely out of this, we could do fuck all. We could go to bed and then follow them again in the morning and continue doing that until the end of time, until we eventually reach this god-awful town that we're going to.
You guys can do whatever you want to, okay? I was just making it very clear that, like, I think you might have, like, as people as opposed to characters, you may have forgotten what you are actually sent to do. So that's the reason why I was just reiterating that.
yeah. Well, the only reason I was suggesting to actually do something tonight is because our gnome friend here seems to think it's a good time to do it. Well, how
We
about
know
this?
nothing about just some
Yeah, I
random number who's turned up.
She knows enough about us and them for me to at least not want to get on her bad side. And I will just say, if you have your ways, is there any way we can assist you rather than getting in ourselves? So no.
Yeah, she kind of just thinks about it and goes, I'll get back to you.
Alright. Until then, we sleep.
Sounds good. Let's have a nice sleep.
And watch over our employers.
Yeah, make sure she's all tucked in. Ask her if she needs anything.
Don't send your owl into her wagon. I mean, what?
Wow.
Okay, so I'll fast forward a day or two, and basically, and I'm rapidly speeding this up, so apologies for both people watching and this, but you'll like the ending. So just as you guys have literally been on the road now for like what, like 6 sessions or something.
Please God.
So, a couple of days later, the camp awakens to one of the guards being killed and left there dead, murdered. Immediately, the guards turn to Ara and are just like, "But it was her! I bet it was her, wasn't it? Or you?" And points to like Johnny. It's like, "One of you!" And they immediately demand to see your short sword.
Wait.
Wow,
What happened?
One of the guards is dead.
No, but I mean, did we see this, or is it?
Yeah,
Is
they're-
it
No. The camp has awoken to this basically.
Okay,
So like
they've
they've
just
awoken to a dead body. Yeah.
Well, Shao will first of all step in front of the group and say, "Hang on a second. You think we did this? Have you not noticed how terrible we are at being stealthy?" Ara, show him the sword.
That's your defense.
Yeah.
So
We're awful at
Ara kind of goes, "What? You want me to?" Alright, and just like pulls out her sword and like shows it to them. And immediately they kind of like take it over, and they then like put it near to the wound, not in it but near to it, and they're like, "Yeah, see, it matches." And you just hear your friend from session 1 of this journey turns around and goes, "Yeah, but to be fair, mate, any short sword does." And he pulls out his, shows that it fits. A couple of the other people in the grants also show their swords. It's like, doesn't really please anything, does it? Sorry about your friend, but there's not much else that could really be done.
We did it. We made a single friend.
From the very first travel session.
40-day journey.
So this kind of really does put the cultists kind of against the caravan. Like the rest of the caravan are like, "Hey on, you're accusing these people who are the champions of Baldur's Gate. They've dealt with a doppelganger encounter, and they saved the lives of everyone in that town and tavern even. These are good people. So we don't really like your sort." And so that kind of like you kind of see this bit of a divide now between the cultists and the others.
And I'll shout out, not to mention, you stole some of our shit as well. We just didn't raise it because we didn't want to start a hassle.
So as you kind of like this is starting to get a bit frantic, you notice that the person who joined them kind of comes forward and just goes, look. I think all of the tempers are a little bit frayed right now, and what we need to do is just calm down. We accept we don't know who killed him, and like as the guy goes to say something, she just kind of dismisses, like dismissive hand. He stops. He goes, "So, how about we all go back to our separate caravans, and if I'm able to find anything, I'll bring it to the group. Until then, let's just go back out." And the most prominent caravan merchants, like the ones who've got the most equipment, have got like a couple of caravans. They kind of agree with that. And the gods will punish the guilty people. Oh, hang on, it's saying that the audio is deep fried on his end. Yep. Can you guys hear me okay on the stream?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the stream, can you just check on the stream for me?
Yeah, I just had a look. It's fine.
Okay.
It's just Mr. Ben's audio.
Okay. And basically, they're basically like, "Look, it's in the gods' hands now. They will deal with it. We shall have to see what happens." And you guys will level up, and we will start chapter 5 next session.
Oh,
God.
Whoa!
huge level up.
Mate, praise the Lord.
Praise all of the
This
gods.
journey, this endless journey, is finally
It's been
complete.
a fun journey.
Oh my God! I'm
Okay.
never getting in a caravan again.
Somebody just rolled a d6. I don't know what that was for, because that's nobody's hit
So
die.
I'm a wizard.
Oh wow! Okay, you got a 2. Unfortunate on that one. Okay, Kane, you need to re-roll. You need to roll your hit die as well. So you are a
Where am I looking for that?
D10. So add D10 and then add 4. So if you just on roll 20,
Yeah.
Insane.
Shoot.
Level 5 is insane.
Is that what you wanted?
no, that's not. That's 4 D10. I just want you to roll 1 D10 and add 4.
So, yeah, slash R
Oh,
space
you
1d10
said-
plus 4.
Literally just click on the 1d10. Nice. So you gain. I'll do it for you, but you gained.
13.
Yep.
Huge.
She
Oh,
rolled
okay.
very, very well on her
Yeah,
stats.
no, I wasn't sure. Yeah, level 5 is so huge for everyone as well.
Yep. Guess
Now,
what?
combat unit can do 4 attacks at a turn if I haste them.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
so yeah, I mean, Kane's now up to 59 hit points. Is there anyone else that needs to roll the hit points?
Mine's on auto.
I was
Okay.
going to say, I'll keep mine on the
I
average,
think
please.
Ara's on rolling.
Ara is indeed on rolling, but I will let her roll hers
Yeah,
beginning
roll
of next
it
session.
back.
That's fair enough. But yes, everyone, please take an extra level. Woohoo! You get to go to level 5 now. Woo!
Level 6 for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, level 6 for you. I forgot that. Yeah.
Huge.
Yep. Deck of
I
many
get my-
things can giveth and taketh away, and at the
And it
moment you
has
don't
been
have
taken
it.
away.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. No, that's promising.
You are lucky.
Yeah. We will. Oh, with the deck. Fuck yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Right, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll obviously pick this up next week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for those of you who stayed to the end. Drunken Ben, thank you very much. Appreciate your follow. I understand you're running Tyranny of Dragons, so obviously you can't share this with your group, but I hope you can share it with other people that you feel might like this. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook. If you really, 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 really like it, there's Patreon as well. We're trying to get to 50 followers, because when we get to 50 followers, we can then become an affiliate where people can then gift subscriptions if they've got Amazon Prime and subscribe. So please, the more people you share this with, the better it is for us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and yeah, we hope to see you next week, and maybe one of the streams in between. We will be doing Baldur's Gate 3 when that launches in early access on September 30th. Not quite sure who with or on what day yet, but there's already about, I think, out of the entire group, about 80% of us are already up for playing that. So it's over a month away now, but keep an eye out for that, and hope to see you next week. Thank you.